None at all. Highs upper 80s on Tuesday, 90 or above Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lows at night in the lower 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Life's a beach with an ASE loan financing the fun you deserve. It's your summer, your way. ASE has the funds. Apply online or at any of our 9 locations.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
Federally insured by NCUA.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Trustworthy, accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Don't worry, it's just our equipment betraying me once again. There's a clip here I want to play, and I'm stubborn. I'm going to stay with this thing until it works. Piece of crap. You're going to be on that. So send her fat ass off to jail.
It's happy hour, come gather around. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl. It's time for a smoke break. David Johnson, Monday and Thursday on Happy Hour. Next to Thespian Field, Tuesday Spotlight on Happy Hour. Getting stopped by on Friday with some chicks on Happy Hour. While the whole world's hanging out in the chat, will change your world. On happy hour.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
I think it is happy hour for a Monday. That means we explore the Idiocracy with David Blackman. And our sidekick on Monday is the one and only Tom Moore, distinguished veteran and coin guy.
And here they are.
Maybe the next mayor of Montgomery, maybe the next host of this show. Let's applaud Tom, shall we?
Silent golf clap. Well, happy Monday, my friend.
There's lots to be happy about, but there's lots to be angry about too. This LA situation, this cheating out in the open, flaunting it.
I woke up to that and I'm like, California did it again. I mean, it's like if you have a library card, if you have a gym card, just send in a mail-in ballot. You're up. Pratt's out.
Supreme Court's supposed to rule on the validity of voting after Election Day. How long do you get to count ballots?
5 days later. What?
It's more than that.
Yeah.
It's a week.
Yeah, it was June 2nd. Now it's the 8th.
And mysteriously, all the uncounted ballots seem to be for the
Right.
the two women that are just hardcore socialist crap. Sorry, they don't deserve any better than that. The city's a sewer, and people voted for more of the same. I'm not totally buying that.
So if you know why people are against the SAVE Act, this is why.
Well-
Because they just want to be able to mail in and just make it happen.
Cover all this with David, but let's look at Chicago. They're not having an election right now, but their fat bastard governor and their mayor managed to run the Bears off to Indiana.
Yeah,
In the meantime, it comes out today that $2.5 billion of the Illinois budget, which could have been spent and invested to refurbish the lakefront, the stadium, and make it modern, accessible, without hours of delay getting in and getting out. No, they had $2.5 billion to take care of all the needs of illegal aliens.
Yep.
That's their priority. What the fork is wrong with the people of Illinois? Why would you vote for this?
100 years tradition.
Yeah.
I was just, back home last month. My best friend lives in Chicago, and we drove by the area that they had planned for their new stadium in Arlington Heights. And then he's like, "Oh, they're thinking about going to Hammond, Indiana." I said, "What?" He's like, "This has been going on for years." I was like, "That cannot be. There is no way."
No.
Sure enough.
The taxes in Chicago and Illinois are ridiculous, and they still can't find the money because a thriving sports franchise pays for itself. The revenues they generate, the sales tax revenue they generate.
You want to hear the sad truth? My best friend's annual property taxes in Illinois are more than my yearly mortgage.
Wow.
Yeah, think about that.
Why is anybody even still living there?
Yeah, there are a lot
Because
of
they're not using the money to
Yeah.
add things that everyday Illinoisans can use.
Yeah.
They're using it to give it away to people that don't even belong here. And let's keep ICE out, and let's keep. It's sickening.
Yeah, I grew up in a very different part of Illinois, central Illinois, and I do love Chicago, especially in the summertime. And it's just sad. It's just but you're seeing it across America. Every large city, Democrat run, they're just ruining it, and I hate it. I literally hate it.
I spent a night in Centralia.
Yeah, that's way down south.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a great steakhouse in Centralia.
I never got to the steakhouse. I was lucky to get to the motel. It's a real long, lame-ass story, and I'm not particularly eager to tell it.
Yeah, Centralia, Vandalia, it's all down there by not too far from St. Louis, maybe 20, 30 minutes?
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, you don't realize what a long state Illinois is until you have to drive through something.
I-55.
But I had to do that because Indiana told me we would prefer if you no longer drive in our state. So again, long story. I get it. So I didn't have a choice because cutting through Indiana is definitely faster. But
Yeah.
they wouldn't Indiana didn't want me, like that old song from Ardeen Taylor. So I've got a lot of liver-driven vitriol today, and we'll talk about it with David Blackman as we explore the never-ending American idiocracy. It's so disheartening to see
Yeah.
the level of stupid.
We're sliding into 250 with a large stain.
Huge.
Yeah.
And by the way, with missiles flying back and forth between Iran and Israel and everything else, I'm sorry. I can't say that I'm all about Trump going to the basketball game tonight. If everything was great and gas prices were $2.25 a gallon, go. But no. And stop the stupid fight at the White House. That's not what the White House is for. That is, to me, just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I understand.
It's a birthday spectacle.
Well, have it
Somewhere else.
Have it at Mar-a-Lago then.
Yeah, I agree.
You got the money, have it at Mar-a-Lago, not at the frickin' White House. Tell Curly from the Three Stooges that runs the UFC you're not interested. The president is testing my patience.
Yeah.
Because I would not advise doing this stuff right now.
The one thing I do like is the kind of temperance we're seeing with, I think he seems to forget. So I've lived in the Middle East a long time. I was a State Department advisor. I lived in Saudi Arabia for 14 months. Speak a little bit of Arabic. That's all those folks know. Thousands of years of fighting. And you think some Western businessmen can come in and stop that tradition? Israel and the rest of the Middle East are going to be trading rounds for generations.
Thing is, it seemed like for a moment in time, he had all of the other
GCC aligned.
Yeah.
Right.
Against Iran.
Yeah. I think we still do. It's just, it's horrible. And it seems like it could be a third war that just ends and drags on.
The market, which started up today.
Yeah, it's just ended a little down. I still think we're over 51.
Wow, it did make a recovery.
Yeah.
When I looked at it at like 130 or 2, it was down about almost 700 points.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Brant's going to join us early today around 4:35.
Excellent.
So he'll be able to explain better than I can.
It's a big week. Got the SpaceX IPO launching on Friday.
I wonder how big that's going to be. I remember when Facebook did its IPO, $40 a share. And I thought about taking what little I had, pulling it, and buying in.
I bought some, and then I sold it when it actually went below 40 at one point, and I was like, yeah, and what's it at now,
300-400.
To the moon.
Yeah. You just got to wait it out. Anyway, we've got lots of news to catch up on. Our show brought to you in part by Montgomery Men's Health for guys who are, boy, especially in this wilting heat and humidity, not exactly adding to your energy level, your sense of vitality, everything suffers in the heat and humidity. How do you fight back? Well, the first thing is to make sure you are armed and ready. And by that, I mean having a proper testosterone level. And if you don't, these effects are going to have much more profound impacts. So find out for $100, $99 test. Montgomery Men's Health will give you the number that you're walking around with. And if it's low, they can fix it and fix it quickly. And then you can experience the great rejuvenation that they have given to thousands of men here. If you're dealing with issues like ED or PE, size, concerns, whatever, they can help you with all of that with state-of-the-art medical treatments approved by the FDA. Montgomery Men's Health is run by a board-certified urologist, so it's all above board. Again, the number is 334-440-3663 or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Dillon Rings. Dillon Rings has great watches and beautiful rings. Or have Josh design a piece of jewelry for you. Shop Dillon Rings now at 119 Brown Springs Road. And check them out on Facebook.
All right, it's 20 minutes after. Skipper, how is the afternoon commute starting?
Well, looking good at the moment. We're seeing busy building traffic all around the area, especially East-South Boulevard and I-65 and 85. Folks beginning to get off work. No issues so far. We will keep you updated. Upgrade your home with Davis Door and Sash, your trusted source for replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials when you mention this ad. Visit DavisDoorandSashAlabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Buckle up with Jay Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
I'm Bradley Earl-Ekdahl, and I'm asking for your vote June 16th for Circuit Judge, Place 5, Autauga, Chilton, and Elmore counties. I'm a 20-year veteran of the trial courtrooms of Alabama. I've served you as an assistant district attorney. I've served you as the municipal prosecutor for the city of Prattville, and I've continued to serve you as the municipal judge of Millbrook. I've defended the most difficult and serious cases before judge and jury. I've been serving this community for 20 years. Vote Bradley Earl-Ekdahl, June 16th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Bradley Earl-Ekdahl, 131 Hunts Alley, Prattville, Alabama, 36067. Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Yeah, and just in case you were wondering what Sharon Osbourne's plans were with Ozzy in the realm of AI, do you believe this Plattner thing?
I can't believe he's still in it. It's like,
isn't it amazing how Democrats find compassion for Nazis?
The best of Maine.
When they're running for a D. It's the biggest pile of beazle schmears that I've ever sniffed in my life.
I think it's an example of the sunken cost theory. It's where, like, you've already invested this and it doesn't matter who he is or what he's done. We're just going to let this.
I love Fetterman.
Yeah.
You saw what
Absolutely.
He said. Fetterman said he would wear a suit to the Senate if Plattner could prove that he wasn't sending pictures of his penis to underage girls. I haven't seen anything forthcoming from Plattner to, in fact, he's just putting, he's not really a Democrat. No, I guess not. He's capable of independent critical thinking, and they hate that. You can't do that when you're, well, the Nazis were the National Socialist Party. So
I think Collins is just laughing all the way to the bank. She'll take it. So
I think that's more than likely the outcome. It is amazing how they hang in there. They got excuses galore.
Yeah.
But look at, Republican, they would have been under the jail already, if that were the case. If you have a family crisis, they can get the best of you emotionally. Don't let that happen. The key to life in almost any realm is to turn it over and give your situation to people who are equipped to handle it. Take the burden off you so you can focus on yourself and move forward. It can be highly emotional. Could be a current situation. Maybe not involving you, but maybe somebody you know is going through it. Make sure that they have at least consulted the best legal help available, and that's Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson. With years of experience and, from my own personal standpoint, these are the two you want on your team who can digest whatever the situation is and then show you the legal leadership to get to the goal, which is moving on with your life and leaving the situation behind and enjoying what time you have. I mean, that's really the key to it. You need, I'm not good at self-advocation, so you need people that can get in there on your behalf and make sure that you don't end up with a lousy arrangement or to fight somebody from the past who's trying to come back for more in a situation you thought was settled. If you're struggling with red tape with adoptions, blended families, and other issues, they can help with that, and they can draw you a will, which is something everybody really needs to have done. Reach out for help at 819-4810, 819-4810, or again, online at the AlabamaFamilyLawyers.com for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
Representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
David Blackman coming up next.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A food delivery driver is being charged after a Prattville girl drowned in a swimming pool. The suspect, Minaj Cheetah, is charged with selling alcohol to a minor and criminally negligent homicide. Investigators determined the 16-year-old girl had consumed a substantial amount of alcohol Wednesday before being found unresponsive in the pool. She died in a Birmingham hospital on Friday. A homicide investigation is underway after the victim in a June 1st shooting died from his injuries. MPD responded to the 3900 block of Delrata Place where officers found 19-year-old Waquan Tennell with a gunshot wound. Tennell had crashed his vehicle into a house after he was shot. A juvenile male is now charged with capital murder in the case. The Troy baseball Trojans are headed to the Men's College World Series for the first time in program history. The Trojans swept 2 games from Little Rock over the weekend to make their advance. Troy previously made the Super Regionals for the first time after defeating the Florida Gators to win the Gainesville Regional. The Trojans will continue their amazing season in the College World Series on Friday against West Virginia. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Delrata and online at budgetfloorsmgm.com.
Democrats invited an illegal invasion of our borders and ballot boxes. That's their plan to stop Trump. Block the Save America Act requiring citizenship to vote. And Rhino Jared Hudson, he stands with them, working against President Trump. Hudson backs a Senate rule letting Democrats block the Save America Act, paving the way for illegals diluting our elections, drowning out Alabama voices. It's no wonder why Hudson's already caving to open-border Trump-hating Democrats. They're bankrolling his campaign. Hudson took over $32,000 from the same liberals who bankrolled Kamala Harris. Worse, Biden-Harris donors are funding a super PAC that spent $600,000 propping up Jared Hudson. Bought by Democrats, siding with Democrats. Alabama doesn't need a rhino rookie senator betraying President Trump like Jared Hudson. Alabama Freedom Fund is responsible for the content of this ad. Paid for by Alabama Freedom Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AlabamaFreedomFund.com.
Clogged drain? Overflowing septic? Don't panic. Call the experts who've been solving plumbing problems in the river region for more than 50 years. The Tierce family's local Roto-Rooter team specializes in fast drain cleaning, septic repair, and installation. One call and your troubles are on their way down the drain. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. Roto-Rooter, always here when you need us.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And legal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the river region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
PSC Equipment and Farm Supply in Raymer always has the best sales, and David's at it again with the Tag It and Take It sale. Saturday, June 13th, load up those trades and bring them with you to the one-day-only mega event. PSC will offer special one-day clearance prices on tons of new and used equipment and implements. Mini excavators as low as $49.95. Mini skid steers starting at $39.95. Quality utility trailers from $17.95. Good Guys cattle trailers starting at just $79.95. And those popular 500 series poly fertilizer spreaders with the stainless steel spinners on sale for $7.99. Tractors, trailers, equipment, attachments, even warehouse products like seed, lime, and fertilizer will have a Tag It and Take It price. The Choo-Choo Food Truck will feed you, Tony Mills will sing for you, and David Steele. One day only, Saturday, June 13th, PSC Equipment and Farm Supply, 21704 Troy Highway, Raymer, right near Sykes & Kahn.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. You probably noticed the humidity is much higher than it has been, and the risk of spotty storms will continue into the evening hours, and generally they'll fade out. Low temperature tonight down to about 71. Then very little day-to-day change for the rest of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll say partial sunshine, very humid with spotty random scattered showers and storms, most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours. Feast or famine, some towns get a lot of rain, others none at all. Highs upper 80s on Tuesday, 90 or above Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lows at night in the lower 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
It was sunny, and he was watering his grass with a hose in his right hand, and he had his crank in his left hand.
Welcome to the world of idiocracy with Greg Pamela and experts.
Never a dull moment.
About all the latest mess, get it off your chest and tune to the best. Idiocracy, the tales of idiocracy, the tales of idiocracy, the tales of idiocracy.
And now, through the miracle of the internet and other contraptions, we now travel to somewhere in Texas, Dallas and vicinity. The man with the 10-gallon brain, political blogger extraordinaire, oil and gas industry expert, Dodger fan, all-around good guy, cat lover too. David Blackman, how are you, sir?
I'm great, but I want to clarify one thing. I am not at this moment doing anything with either my hose or my crank.
We appreciate that because you are live on YouTube.
we like to establish why we call this the idiocracy when we start the show and some of the stuff that goes on. And believe me, I mean, that was bad, but there's even worse. Even worse. I don't even know where to start today, but I think if I take them in order of emotional angst, I know it's Los Angeles. As you pointed out, David, the big cities are all pulling the flush handle on civilization and rational decisions. And we all kind of knew that, wow, all these boxes that keep turning up with uncounted votes, not too many in there for Spencer Pratt. Isn't that amazing how that works?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and of course, you're in a state which not only doesn't require voter ID, but has outlawed any official from even asking for a voter ID, which makes it impossible. And they haven't purged their voter rolls in 20, 30 years at the state level and refused to turn over the records to the federal government, despite it being a legal request by the FEC. And so there's nobody policing the crime. There's no way to police the crime. And especially when you consider they're using Smartmatic machines to tabulate the votes. And so, you know, it's clearly a fraudulent exercise. And, you know, unless the Justice Department were willing to go in there and just seize all the records and shut down the counting center, there's nothing much anybody can do about it.
Seems like the Justice Department, all they did was send one guy out there to say, hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah. Oh, God, just, you know, assistant U.S. attorney out there walks in and he, you know, he's kind of looks around and asks a few questions and leaves. And that's be the end of it.
It's just unbelievable. And we've spent a lot of time on Mondominy in New York, but how about those Bears moving to Indiana?
Hammond, Indiana, is that the city?
Yeah, Hammond is one part of Indiana that's in the central time zone. The rest of it's in the east all year.
Right.
Oh,
Look
we
at
have that's
number 2.
Tom Moore. What's wrong with me? I named it just Tom. Well, I did at the beginning,
Hi,
but
Tom.
not.
Hello, welcome to the show. Yeah, the Bears. It's so sad.
Bears.
I grew up in Illinois. I was born there. Been a Bears fan my whole life, and just it's a sad day.
And
well, I will say this: Hammond is only like 17 miles from downtown Chicago,
right?
Which is essentially the same distance as the Texas Rangers Stadium and the Cowboys Stadium is from downtown Dallas. So, you know, it's not an unprecedented thing for a team to move that far away from the center city.
The Hammond Bears sounds like a T-ball team, though.
Yeah. Are they going to keep the name Chicago?
No.
Or are they just going to call themselves the Bears?
Well, the Giants and Jets from New York moved to Jersey. They played there, but they didn't change their name, city of origin. So I guess they'll keep that. But watch, that's when the mayor will take proactive action and sue. You can't use our name if you're not playing in our town.
We're going to tax you for the name.
Then it turns out today or last night, I doing a little research on this, that the governor,
Pritzker,
the fat bastard,
In my belly.
when he isn't eating
a baby,
he's feeding and providing $2.5 billion in free benefits to illegal aliens in Illinois.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't have the money to keep an institution going. Somebody asked me, what does it mean to the city and the state in terms of revenue? Why build these stadiums? Now, some don't quite work out to the taxpayer benefit, but in this institution, we're talking about a team that generates tens of millions of dollars in revenue and sales tax, and contributes back.
Tourism,
exactly, they fill hotels. I imagine there's probably somebody looking at property around Hammond now, getting ready to build new hotels and accommodations.
Everything will sprout up around that stadium. Yeah.
And they'll have growth there, positive growth. You'll see neighborhoods and all kinds of things come along with that. Look at the modern stadium is no longer just, let's put 80,000 seats here and call it a day. They build complexes and communities around them, shopping areas. So year round, there will be reasons for people to come to this stadium. And the mayor himself, that freak, the hardcore commie, said, he was at a playoff game, and the Bears were losing to the Packers. And he said, well, I better leave early because it takes hours to get out of this place. Well, you're the mayor, jackass. Why don't you fix it? Why don't you do something about it so it doesn't take hours to get out? How do you get that stupid? How do you elect that stupid? So, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised to see the White Sox do a similar thing.
Yeah, and you mentioned he's a communist, and so everybody needs to understand that, part of the Marxist agenda is to rob citizens of any form of joy in their lives.
Yes.
That's how they, assert dominance over your very being, is to rob your lives of anything that creates joy. And so letting the Bears leave the city is part of this guy's agenda. Pritzker, he's just a fat idiot. Who knows what he's thinking, but the mayor, he's fine with this. This is, he's happy about it. Just like Mamdani's happy that all the tax-paying billionaires are leaving New York City. It's the same principles, same philosophy, and same things happen in Los Angeles, of course.
I invite people to do a little research and take a look at the Soviet Union during the hardcore communist eras of the 50s and 60s. See how many people you can find smiling in any photograph.
It's hard to dominate happy people. It's hard to dominate people whose lives are fun and interesting. It's easy to dominate people who are depressed and have no future and are dependent on the government. That's just the recipe for it.
As a lifetime Bears fan, I'm used to a revolving season of disappointment.
Oh, sure.
How dare he rob that from me?
Well, but still, there's the
No, I mean,
the process of going to the sports bars and rooting
no,
for your
I'm
Cubs
being
fans.
very
The same thing,
Yeah, I'm being very facetious. No, they've
Right.
they've got a new coach. They had a great run. They had some great talent. They did move DJ Moore, sadly. But
Yeah.
Caleb's getting his feet underneath him. So
Yeah. No, they've
But
got a lot of talent on that team. It's got a bright future.
But the bottom line, they've had years to figure it out.
Right.
And obviously the mayor just didn't want to.
they've been invested in this new practice stadium practice area that's amazing. And like I said, Arlington Heights, they had this huge area that was just ready to go.
It was domed, wasn't it? The practice facility?
Yes. It's nice. Yeah, we were there last year. Yep.
Used to be a big racetrack at Arlington.
Yep.
Arlington Heights.
Mhm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So by Chicago, by Illinois, and will there be any consequences?
I don't think Soldier was working anymore. I mean, it's just a little small, but like you said, high traffic. So it made sense, but it's like keep it in Chicago.
Soldier Field was built in the Depression originally by the Works Progress Administration, another unconstitutional legacy of FDR. And it was just a cement bowl, and they did nothing. I went to like 1 or 2 games there, and basically it was all cement and flat boards. There were no seats. It was just,
And it's small by today's standards, so.
a glorified high school stadium is what it was.
Northwestern could use it. One of the colleges could use it, UIC.
I think Northwestern has their own stadium.
They're building
They do.
new
It's
right
on
now.
campus, right?
Yeah.
Don't
I went
they
to
have an
a,
on-campus stadium?
a Major League Soccer game there last month. They have a temporary field on the water while they're building their new stadium. And
Oh, geez, I'm looking at a headline on Fox Business. Trump criticizes possible Fed rate hike. Well, that's good news.
Just what we need. It's another idiot running the Fed.
Please, I thought that this guy was going to be the hope. But
I did too.
they're just, the rate hike is indicative of the CPI. So to curb inflation, you got to throw in a rate hike. It's just kind of what it is.
they don't need to make mortgages less achievable. This is not good. This is not.
It's more, proof why we need to wrap this up in the Middle East. So,
Yeah. How?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Let me ask you this, David. I've been critical of the president. I don't think he needs to go to the basketball game when we got missiles flying around and all kinds of other stuff. And if he thinks he's going to be well received there, he's probably going to be very disappointed. It's an inconvenience to the look. It's New York. It's a lost city. Let them wallow in their misery or whatever else they got going on. The basketball team is about all they have to cheer for right now. And just there's no need to impose.
Yeah, in New York City, what's he going to do? The first thing he's going to do is completely tie up traffic in the entire city of Manhattan, right? With that motorcade. You have to. You have no choice.
Yeah.
And so everybody who gets there to that arena probably had a 2-hour journey sitting in traffic, and they're all going to be mad as hell.
Yeah.
And they're going to know exactly who's to blame.
Mhm.
So thinking, yeah, you're right. I mean, thinking he's going to get any kind of a positive reception is a pipe dream, and he shouldn't be. I just, it's amazing to me. Isn't he going to be sitting courtside? How can the Secret Service protect him?
Without blocking half the people that are spending thousands of dollars to sit in those stupid seats.
Yeah, it's wild. I just don't understand.
I
it.
thought he was going to be in one of the boxes.
It is a security
okay. Is he going to be in a
nightmare.
box? Okay, well that's better, but still, everybody's
But-
going to hate him. So
And I said this on the morning show today. I said, look, I'm a Libra. I am compelled to be fair. I don't recall the specific incident, but I remember at some point during Obama's term, there was a lot of negative stuff going on, and he went to a game. And I said, this is how you handle you
yeah,
go watch a
It's just
basketball game. And if I'm going to criticize him for his priorities, I'm sorry, I can't support what he's doing. And this dumbass fight at the White House.
I was about
that's
to say
another thing.
that's the other thing that he's doing that he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, and then do as what, a favor to your friend. This is
Yeah.
not. What does that have to do with Flag Day? Or your birthday or anything else?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
right before July
self-indulgent.
4th and all
Yeah.
that. It's just so self-indulgent and dumb.
the cost of the taxpayers to send him to New York with all the Secret Service, and it doesn't benefit the American public by him being the game. It's self-licking ice cream cone that he's a New York fan, and you get better coverage on TV. So enjoy your cheeseburger and Coke in the White House, and watch the Knicks sweep the next series. So
I want everybody listening to understand. I hate saying these things.
Yeah,
but I have to say these things.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie.
Be consistent.
I have been a diehard supporter, but this is with missiles flying around and gas prices looking like they're going to go back up. I read your blog this morning, sir. Why would you want to?
Yeah, they canceled a bunch of watch parties, so the New Yorkers get in the streets and they watch it, and they canceled that, so they're pretty upset. And like you said, the traffic and poor Spurs, they're just going to get swept.
Yeah,
I'm a big Spurs fan, but Wemby porked that last game at the end, and he's young. The youth is showing.
Well, he's young.
But,
Yeah, what is this? His third season?
Yeah, and he's like they got like Harper. He's 20. I mean, they're so much talent, but they're just young. And New York, they're thirsty, man. And Brunson's just a beast. So,
yeah, he really is. I haven't watched a minute of it. I have to admit, I've seen some highlights though. Brunson is an amazing player.
As long as we're in the realm of sports, I want to go.
Just go to baseball.
No, let's go.
Oh.
Yes.
How did I guess?
Let's go back to Los Angeles. Because I haven't been pissed off about what's happening there for about 10 minutes, so let me reinvigorate that. But I love the fact that Blake Trinan, relief pitcher for the Dodgers, did not indulge the Pride Night.
Good for him.
With the hat and everything. Why do we need a whole month?
Why do we
I'm
need
a veteran.
tonight?
I get a day.
Yeah, exactly.
My buddies died for their country. We get a weekend. Abraham Lincoln has to share a day
Rangers
with Washington.
Don't even give them a night. We're still the only team. The Rangers are still the only team in Major League Baseball that refuses to do that, and they shouldn't do that. None of them should.
It's
ridiculous. You're having a night. I mean, think what it means. According to the gay community, you're born this way. Okay, that's the mantra. Well, where's the pride in that? I was born a dude. Okay. Yeah. A Texan. I am proud of being a Texan, but that's more of an attitude than it is. It's just like being an Alabamian, than it is a birthright. Where's the pride? What are we proud of?
That's my question.
I don't get it. So it's stupid, and nobody should be doing that.
And it also flies in the face of what we were told way back at the beginning. We just want to live our lives and be accepted. And most gay people that I know personally, they don't want this. They don't want parades. They don't want costumes in the street and acting out and all that kind of stuff. They just want to do their job, live their life. What goes on in their home behind closed doors is their business. And I'm down with all of that. But now we got to put it on baseball teams, and the NFL is a big supporter there. All the major sports are run by cowards.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No question about that.
And if they tell them no, I mean, what's going on in Texas? Is there a boycott, a gay boycott? No. Are they parading or marching or demonstrating or setting anything on fire?
No, nobody gives a damn, because it's normal. It's normal life. Life goes on. And I mean, what happened, it all changed when Obama came in, right? We just want to live our lives and have our rights, and everybody's for that. And you legalize gay marriage, and that I was for that myself for some of my good friends.
Sure.
But when Obama came in, everything had to be radicalized, because he's a Marxist too,
Yes.
I mean, he really is. That's who he is. And so everything had to be radicalized. And in 2011 and 12, this Human Rights Coalition organization kind of forced the gay community, the LGBTQ community, to adopt the trans agenda. And that was when they overplayed their hand on everything. And
have you seen how long that acronym is now, by the way? I think I think there's like 30 letters now, and I'm just
it's ridiculous.
What? It all spells ridiculous. To me, it all spells kiss my ass. I'm sorry.
So, you know, everybody's sick of it. Nobody goes to the gay pride parades anymore. Hell, they don't even couldn't even stage one in Long Beach due to lack of participation. I don't think any city in this area is having one in this giant area of Texas that I live in. So it's all dying away now, and maybe they'll get smart and go back to, we just want to live our lives and have our rights like everybody else has rights, which they should have rights and shouldn't be subject to any kind of discrimination and bigotry.
And on the other side of it,
insisting on being in your face and having trans days at the library for your kids.
That's ridiculous.
That crap ought to be a crime punishable by prison time, frankly.
Men in drag twerking in front of kindergartners. Yeah. I've seen these videos. It's nauseating.
All right.
What parent
would be in jail?
What parent would take their kid to an event like that? And what kid wouldn't see that as, wow, that's not normal? I mean, that's a man wearing my ballet outfit and all that hair. Ew.
Anyway, sorry, I got us off on a tangent there.
No, this is all part of the same conversation, because we're going back to L.A. and your word is that Steve Hilton will make the runoff in the gubernatorial.
Yeah, they can't. There's no way for them to dummy that one up. But you know, it was easier in LA, where the Democrats have about a 75 to 25 voter registration advantage, 3-1. But statewide, it's about 65% to 35%. So it's not even double. And, you know, and Hilton had a bigger lead on Tom Steyer than Pratt had on Nithya Raman. So it was just a lot easier. It was very easy for them to do this still in Los Angeles, since no one in the media will even make an effort to hold them accountable, and no one in the federal government will. So, but statewide, you know, you just can't do it. Everybody in the country would be up in arms if they tried to do something quite that outrageous, and they know it.
I'm going to show you a clip without the audio of San Antonio and the TPUSA event there. Antifa's out in full drag.
Oh, yeah. Antifa. Lovely.
What are they going to do with the rest of their lives?
Well, I don't know. You know, these people, right. What do they do in life? I don't even know, to be honest with you. I knew a guy, this was 25 years ago. I used to do as expert witness testimony for the company I worked for in litigation, and we were dealing with a law firm out of DC on one case. And this guy, he was an excellent lawyer, young guy. You know, he was kind of the assistant counsel on our case. And, you know, I just never had any inkling that he was any kind of radical. And then at Bush's inauguration, he got arrested because he was one of the protesters out there trying to disrupt the parade. This guy was a far left-wing radical, and just one of the most excellent lawyers I ever dealt with. It was really weird. So, you know, I that really was eye-opening to me. And that was a long time ago. That was in 2000.
I wonder what people are doing in the privacy. So Steve Hilton will make the runoff. Does he have a chance against the glamorous and electrifying Javier Becerra, who was a Biden dummy, right?
Yeah, he was Biden's. So Becerra was the attorney general, state attorney general in California when all these fraud operations were germinating in Gavin Newsom's first term and being set up. All these NGOs were getting in there and setting them all up. And Becerra was attorney general who allowed that all to happen with zero prosecution, zero oversight of any kind. And he did such a great job for the fraudsters in California. They took him and made Biden appoint him to be HHS secretary, because so much of the fraud is focused on Medicaid, right? Medicaid and hospice services. And so they put Becerra at HHS to ensure no meaningful federal audits would ever happen over any of that stuff during Biden's term. And so now they want him to be governor just to keep scams all going. So that's why when they were going to put Swalwell in, they were going to rig the thing for Swalwell.
Forgot about Eric Swalwell.
Right. But then they had to dump him because he was such a scumbag. And Becerra's got, he has at least kept himself out of major scandals. And but he's the establishment's pick, and and the reason why is because of all the rampant fraud operations that they want to keep going.
Well, it's at least one of them made it, but the day of the non-politician, and that's what Spencer Pratt is, Citizen Pratt, challenging and literally made himself a national story, and all kinds of celebrities came out and endorsed him in LA because they're tired of the city burning down and run into the ground. But apparently they've really embraced socialism. So if they don't elect Karen Bass, they can elect somebody worse.
Well, they're setting her up to succeed Karen Bass, to become the next Marxist mayor. So that's the hope. That was the plan from the beginning.
They never take their foot off the pedal, do they, David?
No, they keep doubling, tripling down. They're never going to stop until somebody stops them forcibly.
All right, this concludes our tour of the three major cities, sports, pride parades, all of that. We've got plenty more to come out in the succeeding minutes. But let me direct people to subscribe to David's blog, which is outstanding. And that's David Blackman, one word, davidblackman.substack.com. And for the latest on energy news, blackman.substack.com. David, we will see you on the other side.
Very good. See you then.
Thank you, sir. All right. In the meantime, our show brought to you by Clark's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, 277-2125. A $180 membership gets you 2 in-home visits by an outstanding Clark's HVAC tech. And if they spot something, you get a discount on parts and labor on any AC issue. And it may look great, but something down the road happens and it ceases to function. You want immediate assistance, and as a Clark's Club member, you'll get it for that or any plumbing problem may come out. Their plumbing team is outstanding. So for the best in heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and some awesome, awesome people, call Clark's 277-2125, clarkcomfort.com, Alabama certification number 09098. Traffic, Salem Radio Network News, David.
Well, at the moment, around the places that count, interstates, boulevards, light to moderate traffic, busy everywhere. And on Holcomb Street, we had the report of a pedestrian involved in an accident with a car there. Just avoid that area if you can. And we will keep you updated if we hear of anything else. Prattville, Wilbert, with Tupker reporting light to moderate traffic flow. At McKenna Nissan, you can save up to $6,000 off Pathfinders and up to $5,000 on roads. Add the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKendon Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports, while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I've rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. 5 reasons to get a home inspection before you close on a home. Homeowners buying their first home or their 10th home still need a home inspection performed. First, you will find out firsthand the true condition of the home, the age and state of the heating and air, the roof, electrical, and plumbing as of the date of inspection. Second, it may give you the ability to renegotiate repairs that the seller will end up paying for before closing. Third, if the results show that the repairs would be too costly, then you can opt out of the contract without losing your earnest money. Fourth, the age and state of the systems will indicate what shape the rest of the house might be in and give you the option to opt out of the transaction or renegotiate terms. Fifth, knowing what needs to be done to the house will allow you the opportunity to update the home properly to your taste. For a list of the best home inspectors in the area, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 334-221-2883 or 551-0225. The Goodson Group.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Today's show is brought to you by massage chairs at the mall, or as they're known to the people sitting in them for free, padded chairs.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
It's your 4 o'clock.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump has announced that Iran has agreed to stop firing missiles at Israel. He wrote on Truth Social today, quote, both sides, Israel and Iran, are looking to do an immediate ceasefire. He also writes that peace talks continue and that the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports remains in place until what he calls a final deal can be achieved. A House Oversight Committee report today says the administration of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz ignored the warning signs, even as billions of U.S. tax dollars vanished into fraud schemes in that state. Federal prosecutors say the centerpiece of the case is a nonprofit calling itself Feeding Our Future. A powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake has rocked the southern Philippines. At least 35 people were killed. Most of the deaths occurred in the Sarangani province due to a landslide. At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was off 80 points. This is SRN News.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-2085, 800-555-2085, or biglou.com.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. You probably noticed the humidity is much higher than it has been, and the risk of spotty storms will continue into the evening hours, and generally they'll fade out. Low temperature tonight down to about 71. Then very little day-to-day change for the rest of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll say partial sunshine, very humid with spotty random scattered showers and storms, most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours. Feast or famine, some towns get a lot of rain, others none at all. Highs upper 80s on Tuesday, 90 or above Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lows at night in the lower 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Big dreams for your home on a tight budget? AFE's $26.26 as you covered. Unlock your home's equity with just $26 in closing costs. No fees, no headaches. Visit your local ASE branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 420259.
Mr. Electric presents the most electrifying story of the day. For service, installation, and upfront pricing, call Mr. Electric at 245-1566. Here with today's high voltage news, it's Greg Budell.
And of course, visit MrElectric.com. Tom, our story is one that came up in the morning show today. We found out from one of our listeners. Let me back up by saying Saturday, I was driving to a place on Atlanta Highway for a haircut. I took Perry Hill to Atlanta Highway and made the right turn. And I could not believe the wretched condition of the entire sequence from Perry Hill to Atlanta Highway. And Atlanta Highway in itself, it's way, way, way overdue for resurfacing. Then this morning we find out that the city council approved the resurfacing of Madison Avenue, which becomes Atlanta Highway. A year ago in May of last year, that was approved. Nothing has been done. Not a damn thing. I think maybe the tire industry has got a stake in holding this off. So, because it's at the point there are places on Atlanta Highway where you hit it and you wonder, am I going to get a flat? So once again, the city could care less about the needs of the contributing taxpayers and does absolutely nothing about something they've already approved. Good work. Your tax dollars not in action.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of focus of downtown. And I think a lot of constituents and business owners feel like the city's really neglected a lot of areas of the city.
Yeah, I mean, like it or not, it's still an issue with an understaffed police department and the fear. We heard about it from one of our guests last week. It's hurting attendance in everything from the ballpark to impact in other places. So
we'll get into that the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk about Jackson Hospital.
That's another. Jeez.
And then before I forget, Cindy called in. Appreciate you listening. She had asked about, we have our debates tonight at 6 o'clock.
That's right.
Locally. And she asked, hey, I can't attend in person. Is there a way I can hear or watch it online? And we researched it, and 1819 News will be picking up coverage of that. So Cindy, if you go online, you'll be able to get that.
1819news.com.
Yep.
All right, David Blackberry joins us in a couple of minutes.
I'm Bradley Earl-Eckdahl, and I'm asking for your vote June 16th for Circuit Judge Place 5 at Tauga, Chilton, and Elmore counties. I'm a 20-year veteran of the trial courtrooms of Alabama. I've served you as an assistant district attorney, I've served you as the municipal prosecutor for the city of Prattville, and I've continued to serve you as the municipal judge of Millbrook. I've defended the most difficult and serious cases before judge and jury. I've been serving this community for 20 years. Vote Bradley Earl-Eckdahl, June 16th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Bradley Earl-Eckdahl, 131 Hunts Alley, Prattville, Alabama, 36067.
Before you commit to that plumbing repair or upgrade, get a second opinion from Headley Plumbing. Our estimate could save you thousands. We do it all: residential, commercial, and septic tank service, serving the entire river region. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the river region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Yes, even the American idiocracy needs a leader.
I'm Jeff Bezos, and I know what you're thinking. Well, not yet, anyway. That's why I'm spending $500 million to discover the brain's core algorithm. I already know what you're saying with an Alexa in your kitchen, your living room, and your bedroom, too. But I need to know what you're thinking. Like, are you thinking about an Amazon purchase? Or are you thinking about a trip to Whole Foods? But what I really need to know is, are you thinking about coming after the billionaires with pitchforks? I mean, That's really high on my list. So forget about a penny for your thoughts. I'm more about a $500 million for your brain. Did you think that was funny?
I didn't even know my brain had an algorithm. Welcome back. David Blackman joining me and Tom Moore here on News Talk 93.1 FM. We have a call waiting.
Yep.
And this is... Hello?
It's the Iceman.
Iceman.
Yeah, it's the Iceman.
What can we do?
If you want to have some fun with what the city's doing, here's another story for you. There's a hot rod club in Montgomery, Alabama, has been putting on the Train Shed Car Show first Saturday every June. About the last 20 years to raise money for charity.
Yes.
And they've always been able to get the train shed at no cost. Well, the city's changed its policy, and now it's going to cost somewhere around $2,000 just to be able to access the train shed for a car show to raise charity.
Well.
And my question is, who's the better one with spending money, a local charity or the city of Montgomery?
That's it.
I'll let you comment on that. Thank you much for your time.
Sure. Well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I run the Cars and Coffee in Montgomery, and
You do?
Bill Moses is a good friend of mine, and he puts on that train shed, and they said, sadly, this might be the last year that they do it. It's a great turnout car
hell?
show. I know. It's pretty sad.
David, the train shed is a really cool place downtown. It was one of the first places I visited when I came here 21 years ago. And like every other thing that could be a feature, first of all, now at that area, people don't want to go there at night for events because, well, we had that little mass shooting and so forth. But our mayor stood up to that. He said, seriously, he said, if you really feel that badly about life, why don't you go jump off a bridge? That was his response to that unfortunate event.
He is a male Karen Bass.
Yes.
He is our little Karen Bass.
So we
right
call
there.
the supporters of Karen Bass bassholes, but what do we do with Reed? We'll have to work on that one. Hey, how about Mr. Hyperventilating Scott Pelley? They murdered 60 Minutes.
Man.
Have you ever seen anybody make a bigger ass out of themselves than this guy?
No, of course he's just an ass. Period. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, his nature. So it was inevitable that he'd pull something like this.
I don't know I've been in the media a long time, and I've seen a lot of ego-driven characters. I don't think I've ever seen anybody, not even Donald Trump, could rise to the ego level that this guy has.
Oh man,
relative to his self-importance is staggering.
Yeah, his self-regard is pretty astonishing. And that interview with the New York Times, I urge people to watch it, at least a few minutes of it, if you can stand it, because it is really, if you didn't know it was real, you wouldn't believe it's real.
Yeah.
That's how absurd and overwrought he is in that interview. It's just mind-boggling. And we used to make fun of Ted Baxter. In fact, I mentioned him last Thursday.
Yeah.
Compared the two, on the Mary Tyler Moore show, Ted Knight did such a wonderful job of playing that character.
Yes.
But Scott Pelley is that character.
Yeah.
He is that character. It's extraordinary. It's just amazing watching him. It's just pathetic, really.
He's like an emperor with no clothes.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
has no idea of it either.
You don't publicly destroy your new boss and expect to keep your gig. And guess what? You won't be the first major media domo who found out that, well, they got rid of me and the show continued. And it's still on the air. And he's going to find this out. And who's going to want him? What employer would want somebody with that level of ego and self-centeredness?
Nobody. I mean, he's going to end up like Jim Acosta. And
I got a podcast now.
Right. He's going to have a podcast, and he'll be doing Acosta's podcast as a guest. And
of course,
and he'll have no audience because nobody gave a damn about Scott Pelley. This is not Walter Cronkite.
No. If he thinks
it's not even Dan Rather,
or Harry Reasoner or any of them, Mike Wallace. Wow. I'm just amazed sometimes at the behavior of people. Let's talk about Kristen Welker.
I've got the man and the legend holding on line one, the Rich Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rich Thomas.
Hey guys.
A week ago, the
Watching
bottom
you
was
on
dropping out, and now it's beautiful, and we still get to hear from you.
Watching you on the the video feed here on the 85-inch screen. There you are, all three of you. And I know you're going to talk about Jackson Hospital next hour, but let me just drop in just some random thoughts here. This is a big deal. This can't happen. We can't lose this hospital.
No.
We can't lose this many beds. This is going to be catastrophic for the city of Montgomery on many fronts. First of all, I'm thinking about what would happen. Well, on a regular day, the emergency room at Jackson is packed. But what about a tornado or some sort of disaster? We can't afford to lose Jackson Hospital. I don't know what it's going to take. Blue Cross and Blue Shield seems to say, look, we can't do any more. And Jackson says, if you can't do any more, we're going to have to close. We're going to close the hospital. That you brought up something, Greg. You brought up this possibility that closing of Jackson Hospital might affect losing something like Maxwell Air Force Base.
Yeah, the city has to have adequate resources just in case. And losing Jackson puts us in it makes our situation with the Maxwell complex, which is critical to the Air Force.
Which is, by the way, already critical, even before this Jackson thought.
Yes.
So,
losing Jackson.
Yeah, Rich, what I'll tell you is this city has been in a decline since 2019 when Reed took office. And this is a domino that will exacerbate that decline. It will be catastrophic. The military will analyze, does the city of Montgomery have a standard of health care that can, and they'll say no. That is a BRAC, so it's a base realignment and closure. That's a congressional act. There's a high likelihood that Maxwell will leave Montgomery. And I'm telling you, I saw this happening a year and a half ago. Jackson will close on July 1st. And the first thing that will close is the ER. And then they're going to close their doors so no new patients can come in at all. And then they're going to move out their inpatient, the ones that are in ICU and beds.
Okay, so there's a whole hospital with all those beds not available. What about all the? I don't know how many employees they have, but good God Almighty,
they're going to go to Baptist. Baptist got more applicants Friday than they got in all of last year. So there is a need for healthcare professionals in Montgomery. But the sad fact is people will die. If there's any mass casualty event, the time it will take to transfer to UAB or outside of Montgomery.
A lot of that will have to go to
Baptist
Birmingham.
is already a 2 to 3 day wait for an ER right now, and that's with Jackson. So, but here's the sad reality: they will close January 1st, and for their new CEO to scapegoat Blue Cross, it's crap. It is. Jackson was mismanaged for years.
Blue Cross.
Blue Cross Blue Shield. First of all, it only counts for 20% of their income, and the rates that they negotiated, it was that was between them. So to scapegoat Blue Cross, but Rich, I appreciate you calling. It is a sad fact, and
if Jackson Hospital folds, this is a significant event in the future of Montgomery, Alabama.
Absolutely.
On so many levels.
Yep.
And that's all I want to say. I know you guys are going to talk about it more next hour, and I don't want to infringe on your time. I just wanted to drop that in and tell you that I'm watching you guys on TV right now.
Do we look good on 85-inch?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. All that matters. And high def, 4K.
Bye.
Cheers.
I'm so jealous. I want an 85-inch TV myself, but we got no.
They're probably
place to put it in our
like
house.
$140 at Costco now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
I've been to Rich's house. It's an 85-inch TV with 8K, I think.
Oh my goodness.
When he had an 84-inch TV and he had to have the 8K, he gave me the 84-inch with 4K. which I was happy to accept.
That's awesome.
And I got
You
another
have no
2 years
reason
out
to
of
go
it.
to a movie theater if you got a screen that big, you know.
I did go to see Pressure. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm. What's Pressure? I don't know what it is.
It's the kind of movie I absolutely love. It's a Hollywood production of a true event, and it's all around the guy who had to make the call on whether or not they could do D-Day. Initially,
right, yeah, Brendan Fraser.
And yes, and the only draw, and it's just me. Brandon Fraser plays Eisenhower, and I'm sorry. He way overplayed the role, and at times he looks like Rodney Dangerfield. Just take my word, seriously. I kept waiting. I'm looking at Eisenhower. I don't get any respect here. I'm with Kay Summersby because my wife is so ugly, and I'm sorry. But the movie, the situation that causes the pressure supersedes the portrayal, in my opinion, and it's absolutely worth your time. So I would try and check that out.
Might have to. Yeah.
Because there were literally millions of lives riding on one weather forecast.
Right.
And the American meteorologist in this thing, he's going, well, it was sunny on June 5th in 1924, and the cycles say that's what he was using. This guy is using actively collected data to say the storm is going to be outrageous on the 5th. Don't do it. And he turns out to be right. But then he realizes there's a window where we could do this on June 6th. And I still recommend the movie, even though I think they could have picked a better actor than Brandon Fraser. But that's just me. I'm just a simple hawk show toast. What do I know in Montgomery, Alabama, right?
I'm
so we were
looking
talking
forward
about
to Disclosure opening this week on Friday.
Yes, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. I can't wait to see that. That's a theater movie for sure. Why would Donald Trump even waste his time going on Meet the Press?
I don't understand it. I've bitched and moaned every time he's done an interview with any of those networks on the Sunday shows. I think it's a tremendous disservice to not just himself and the people in his administration, but to the people who voted for him. I mean, these are the people who need to go away, and he keeps platforming them. Yeah, nobody in this administration should ever agree to an interview with Kristen Welker or George Stephanopoulos or Margaret Brennan at CBS on Face the Nation.
Yeah.
When you do that, you're the president. It's going to attract a bigger audience than they would normally get. All three of those shows get a fraction of the audience they got 20 years ago. Nobody watches them except when Donald Trump shows up for an interview.
Yes.
And which is why they promote him so heavily. And so it makes me, I get furious. I just get furious when I see those clips of him sitting down with these are evil propagandists that Joseph Goebbels would have been proud of. Okay.
Yeah.
That's who these people are. Why are you platforming them? Pelly's, not even among the worst compared to those people. Pelly's just a pompous jackass on 60 Minutes that nobody
really
watched anyway. But those people are actively evil, and they hate our country. They want to destroy our country, and this president should not be ever to them at all.
Right. We shouldn't be entertaining them at all.
I think he's very accessible. I think he likes to be accessible. I think he likes to hear himself. But it's walking into a trap, and all media has an agenda. I think what was most upsetting is if you don't respect Trump, at least respect the position and the way they talk to the president of the United States. And it's just like they just beat and beat and beat. And it's like
they don't recognize him as president.
No, it's like Caitlin Collins. It's just that attitude, like that they're just going to keep beating him. It's like, what evidence do you have? What evidence? What evidence? It's just like, it's clear. Like he's like, it's clear. It's in front of you. You're seeing it unfold. Mail-in ballots are coming into California, and now Pratt is somehow not going to make the runoff. That's before you, and she just keeps going. And it's just a level of disrespect that I think is just appalling.
Well-trained socialist, as David says, Joseph Goebbels media.
Yep.
So, bit of a flap between Trump and Netanyahu. By the way.
Deservedly. Yes. I've been a real supporter of Israel's right to go after Hamas, go after Hezbollah. I mean, I think they have every right to do it. These are, you talk about evil people. These are terrorists who just lob bombs into Tel Aviv and other Israeli cities every day. But you're at a delicate point in these negotiations over this, ending this conflict and reopening Strait of Hormuz. And Netanyahu just intentionally tries to kill that deal by, launching a heavy attack into Beirut. And he's going after Hezbollah targets, supposedly. But Beirut's a big city with millions of innocent civilians living in it. And for him to do that at that moment in time is inexcusable, just inexcusable. And now we find out that the administration is also angry at the Israeli government because of all the spying they've been doing on internal communications at the White House between Trump and his officials. And which is not unusual. I mean, Mossad spies on the United States constantly, and every other government on the face of the earth. So it's not really unusual, but apparently it's been especially invasive in recent months, of course, as this conflict has gone on. We're supposed to be allies, not enemies.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be jointly conducting this campaign, and Netanyahu keeps going rogue in order to intentionally try to kill any kind of a peace agreement. And I think everyone is losing patience with that nonsense.
Oh, I would agree. I mean, we're in the 100th day. This afternoon, the president says, I call the shots. Apparently, he's bit Bibi's head off a couple of times. But that gave me an excuse to bring back a long-lost greeting we had for the leader of Israel.
Netanyahu!
For those who long remember the old Yahoo call sign on TV.
Yeah.
So, it does need to get stabilized. It was great. I mean, from Memorial Sunday, over the course of a week, I watched the price of gas at that retail Chevron I tell you about all the time drop 59 cents.
Yeah.
And you've been able to get it here in Montgomery at various places for in the 330s, which is nice. I'd like to see it continue to drop. That'll take a lot of the heat off, this entire situation. But all this rocket lobbying and everything else is not going to be good for stability in oil prices. Did they go up today on the market?
A little bit. They were up substantially early in the morning, but they've kind of backed off here in the last few hours. So they're up about $1.25 last time I looked.
Okay.
Not terrible.
All right. What do we
When
have?
I wrote
caller
that
wanted to chime in about Bibi.
We have a caller that wants to talk about Bibi, David. You're on with David Blackman. Who's this?
Yes, I was just listening to the conversation, and what occurred to me is it seems like, in my opinion, the way I see things, here for the past several months, ever since the U.S. halted its bombing on Iran, ever since the U.S. halted that, it's been the Iranians that have been dictating what's going on and what's going to happen next. And it's just so messed up, man. What did Trump first say when the U.S. very first attacked Iran? He demanded the unconditional surrender of the Iranian regime.
Yeah.
Right? Is
That's
that
what
true or not true?
Yeah.
All right, so Trump needs to stop being a two-faced, bald-faced liar and get the job done and over with, which it could have been by now.
Well, wait a minute.
This is highly upsetting. And
Calm the hell down and talk to me. Hey, asshole, you're gone. I'm not going to sit and listen to your drunken rant. And I'll tell you why. This is a talk show. We have a conversation. You said your piece, and I'm was going to ask you, did Trump lie or did he underestimate or misassess the situation at the beginning? That's the question, not lie. I don't think Trump set this up to lie.
Well, I think he'd been lied to by the Israelis and his neocon advisors in the White House, who convinced him this was going to be an easy, fast action in which you lop off the top of the Iranian government and the Ayatollah, and everything was going to be easy after that. And of course, just like Iraq, you know, where George W. Bush was assured by Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld and all those clowns, those neocon clowns, that you're going to go in there, you're going to get Saddam Hussein, you're going to lop off the top of the government and get rid of the main military force, and the people are going to greet us as heroes. And of course, that didn't happen. Obviously, it didn't happen. And there was no plan to adjust when it didn't happen. And I think we had the same thing happen here. There was no real plan to adjust when Iran just didn't, you know, do like Roberto Duran did and wave their hands and say, no mas, no mas.
Yeah.
And that's an old reference for all you
80s, very 80s, but it's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, so, you know, there was no plan because the neocons never have a plan to adjust ever. You know, they're so convinced of their intelligence and their righteousness that they're going to be right. And so there's no need to have an alternative plan, a plan B. And so plan B has been to just kind of cast about and try to negotiate a way out of this thing that is acceptable and digestible to the American people. And I don't think he can do that. I still don't think that's possible. And fortunately, he has started hitting those IRGC positions now that are adjacent to the Strait of Hormuz here over the weekend. And that needs to continue. You got to keep putting pressure on them.
David, we have to take our bottom of the hour break here, but we still have plenty to cover, including the Plattner situation and how the hypocrisy that's going on with that and so much more. To subscribe to David Blackman, visit davidblackman.substack.com. Make yourself a wise person. It is a great investment in your own intelligence, right? Intelligence gathering. You want takes on what's going on. This man puts the facts out there, makes it easier to decide. It's not theory. And for oil and gas industry expertise, which David has made his career, visit blackman.substack.com. Now, Brant McDonald asked us to take his call a little early today at 4:35, and since the market had this weird day, we're going to talk to him and then come back in about somewhere around 8 minutes.
Cool.
If that's okay, David.
All right.
All righty. We will rejoin David shortly. Right now, we're going to the traffic dungeon. This broadcast brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body.
Well, we had a high-speed chase on Southport not long ago, and an accident occurred because of that right near East Ogden. Please use caution there. I-65 northbound, bottom of the ramp from Maxwell Boulevard. We have a person on the side of the roadway there. Police are trying to get that person off of the bridge, so use caution. Traffic is open there. And we had an accident, Troy Highway at Bell Road. Keep it here for updates. Get $3,000 customer cash on a new Toyota Tundra at McKinnon Toyota at the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
I'm Stephanie Bryan, chairwoman of the Porch Creek Indians. Tourism and hospitality are more than industries to the Porch Creek Indians. Providing a warm welcome is part of our heritage. It's central to who we are. From Atmore to Aruba, we've created more than 20 unique travel and tourism destinations, providing unforgettable guest experiences and life-changing career opportunities for our tribe and our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
It's not the first time this has happened, but apparently we have somebody who wants to jump off the Alabama River Bridge on northbound 65.
Yep, shut down. Traffic northbound shut down.
That's going to be a huge mess. We'll check back with Skipper right now. Joining us from Invista Advisors, Mr. Right on the Money. Grant McDonald, how are you, sir?
Hey, Greg, I'm doing well. How about you? All good in your world?
Well, wild day today. The market was down, then up. I looked at 1 o'clock. The Dow was down about 800 points or something, and then we checked. When I got in, it was down only 80. What a roller coaster ride. Give us a quick take on what's causing all of this.
I mean, it's crazy. You know, as I've been saying over and over, like a broken record, it's hour by hour news with this Iranian thing, and I'm sure you've seen the news. You know, you had Iran and Israel shooting at each other. It looked like the whole thing was about to come off the rails again, and then Trump, you know, laid down the law and got everybody back under control. That seemed to calm everyone's nerves, and then we had the market rally back to even, basically. So pretty much a nothing event for today. The only other thing I would add to that is you know, a lot of the semiconductor stocks that got hit pretty hard on Friday caused a major market sell-off in Korea last night. That market with the Kospi, which is sort of like the S&P of the U.S., it was down almost 8% yesterday, or Monday, their Monday. It did not carry over today, though, and so that was good. Now, let's talk about this week real quick, because it is interesting. I touched on this last week, that we have a lot of data coming this week, a lot of big events. Nothing really today to speak of, and probably not so much tomorrow either. However, Wednesday is a huge day. We've got the Consumer Price Index, and the headline number, or in terms of the overall consensus estimate there, is a little over 4%. So a number with a 4 handle, that's pretty big. And then on Thursday, we get Producer Price Index. And then also, remember, on Friday is the SpaceX IPO. This is a world record-setting IPO, a $1.77 trillion valuation. And that's going to go down on Friday, so we'll see. Who knows? You know, it may take them 2 hours to get that stock open for trading. In terms of what we can tell right now, it does appear, in terms of the way derivatives markets and options contracts are being laid, we could see a potential 23% rise in shares on Friday. Who knows? Again, though, and I just want to tell people, if you're interested in the SpaceX IPO, be very, very careful. Don't just rush in and buy it on Friday. Let this thing trade around a little bit and let it settle down. If you just can't take it and you've got this sort of fear of missing out, whatever you're looking to commit in terms of money, maybe start with like 20% of that. Do a tiny little bit and then wait and watch and see. There'll be opportunities to deploy it later in the day. We're going to talk a whole lot more about that as we go through the week, Greg. But also on Friday, we get consumer sentiment numbers on the heels of these big inflation numbers.
Yeah.
As I said, CPI Wednesday, PPI on Thursday. And then next week, we have the first Fed meeting with the new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh. And I've been saying that's going to be a big meeting, obviously, because Jay Powell himself will still be on the Board of Governors, sitting in the room with Kevin Warsh to vote and determine, what they may or may not do with respect to monetary policy. Look, there's no way they're going to cut interest rates, and I don't think they're going to raise rates. It's really more about what the minutes of that meeting look like, and then also how Kevin Warsh's press conference goes on Wednesday, next Wednesday. So a whole lot coming at us, and we'll be there to report on it with you throughout this week.
We appreciate it, Brant. Thank you for the analysis, and we will talk again tomorrow.
You got it, buddy. Y'all have a great night.
You too.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
David Blackman will rejoin us in a few minutes.
PSC Equipment and Farm Supply in Raymer always has the best sales, and David's at it again with the Tag It and Take It sale. Saturday, June 13th. Load up those trades and bring them with you to the one-day-only mega event. PSC will offer special one-day clearance prices on tons of new and used equipment and implements. Mini excavators as low as $49.95. Mini skid steers starting at $39.95. Quality utility trailers from $17.95. Good Guys cattle trailers starting at just $79.95. And those popular 500 series poly fertilizer spreaders with the stainless steel spinners on sale for $7.99. Tractors, trailers, equipment, attachments, even warehouse products like seed, lime, and fertilizer will have a Tag It and Take It price. The Choo-Choo Food Truck will feed you, Tony Mills will sing for you, and David Steeless. One day only, Saturday, June 13th. PSC Equipment and Farm Supply, 21704 Troy Highway, Raymer, right near Sykes & Kahn.
Lunch should be comforting and done right. At Epicure and Jack's Tavern, their meat and three is scratch made to order, not scooped from a steam table. Real cooking, real portions. And for guests 60 and over, it's just $10.99. It's familiar food, elevated, served with care. Lunch at Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Classic Southern comfort, a step above the rest.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror, and that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
Rain for the past few days in Alabama has created a flash flood watch in northern Alabama and parts of central Alabama. Some spots received 5 to 8 inches of rain on Sunday alone, which has caused the flooding in low areas. Recent rainfall throughout the state has resulted in the U.S. Drought Monitor changing its drought designation for the state overall. Conditions have improved in Jefferson County and northwest Alabama, with the drought designation being completely removed. The southern counties of the state of Alabama have gone from an extreme drought designation to moderate. 16% of the state is now considered to be in a drought, with 83% considered as abnormally dry. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A reward of $10,000 is now being offered by the Birmingham Police Department in order to find and arrest the person responsible for a mass shooting in the Sandusky neighborhood last week. 2 people were killed as a result of this shooting, 5 others severely injured. The fatalities have been identified as Bernard Watts and Deandra Johnson. The gunfire broke out at a house party where those attending were family members or close friends. The U.S. Coast Guard has officially opened up its training center at the former Birmingham Southern College campus. The U.S. Coast Guard will begin training programs at the campus for new Coast Guard cadets. Admiral Kevin Lundy will be overseeing these operations. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. You probably noticed the humidity is much higher than it has been, and the risk of spotty storms will continue into the evening hours, and generally they'll fade out. Low temperature tonight down to about 71. Then very little day-to-day change for the rest of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll say partial sunshine, very humid with spotty random scattered showers and storms, most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours. Feast or famine, some towns get a lot of rain, others none at all. Highs upper 80s on Tuesday, 90 or above Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lows at night in the lower 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We didn't have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. Because on the count of, you want to know why? When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
All right, just a word in for climate change. We've had everything happening this afternoon, including a threatened jumper on one of our key... I'm going to throw this thing into the parking lot. Hey, how about that Carmelo Anthony trial, David? I don't think that's going to become the... event they hope to make it. It looks like the prosecution did a pretty thorough job in establishing there was no motive for him to do that. None. He was not teased, provoked, attacked. It was a flat out racist murder, and I don't think they're going to get their way on that one.
No, and the defense rested today, so they didn't present much of a case. So well, you know, the kid needs to be in prison. Obviously, he's unstable. He's a threat to the community, and he needs to be in prison. And it's sad and it's awful, and you hate to see that happen to any family. And but you know, he has to pay for what he did. He took another person's life. It's just horrible.
And there's no justification whatsoever. Sorry, media, not this one. You have to look a little bit harder. So we've covered so much today, from Iran to the, as David put it, the absurdist douchebaggery of Scott Pelley. I love that. I'm stealing that for the morning show tomorrow.
I just love that word, douchebaggery. Yeah,
it's
that's
awesome.
my favorite word.
It's awesome, and you can define it almost any way you wish. Let's talk about woke. Is woke dying? I think it is.
Yeah, but boy, it's slow and painful, isn't it? Holy cow.
It is, because so many things that come out now, within the first 5 minutes, the first thing the director of a TV series or a movie does is establish, hey, we've got everybody covered here. We've got white, black, Asian, gay. We've covered all the bases here. So you can't get mad at us. But a lot of that was done. You know, these things take years to produce. So woke still had I think a stronghold. Now, is it Idris Elba does not want to be cast as James Bond?
Yeah, he's he's a great actor, a fine action actor too. He's made some really good action movies, both in the theaters and on Apple TV. There's one called Hijack that's just fantastic series. But he'd been rumored to be one of the leading candidates to play the new James Bond. Now that's under the Amazon ownership, and there's been rumors that they wanted to pick a black actor or pick a female actor to play the role. And
Bond.
Idris Elba, I think, smartly said, "No, I don't think you need to do that. You don't want to do that." You'd be changing the nature of the entire model for those movies. And it has a structure, it has a gimmick, and it needs to maintain that to continue to attract audiences. So if you make him black, or you put a woman in that role, you're probably going to kill the franchise. And I think that's very smart. And, he's, of course, playing James Bond is kind of a mixed bag. It has been for actors who have played it, because you end up running the risk of getting pigeonholed in that role if you're too strongly identified. Daniel Craig, worked hard to make other films while he was making those Bond movies, and managed to maintain a separate identity for himself as an actor. But really, Roger Moore really never did recover. He made some films, but none of them were hits at all, and it really kind of killed his career. Sean Connery had a similar struggle, but ended up making some really fine films after he'd stopped playing it. So it's a risk for anybody to take that role. But I was really glad to see Elba say that, because he's a highly respected actor, and I think it carries a lot of weight.
I don't think he ever actively lobbied for the role. I think that was another media creation pushing him towards that.
Right. Yeah.
And I can give him all the credit in the world. Although I got to say, one of the worst casting choices I've ever seen. He did played a boss on The Office for several episodes.
Oh,
and
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't really work well.
No,
it's not. That's not his strength. Yeah.
Didn't work well for Will Ferrell either. Has Will Ferrell made anything funny in the last 15 years?
Man, Jim Carrey. It's amazing how these really funny people, Adam Sandler, they get it in their head. They want to be a serious actor and just destroy themselves. I mean, Will Ferrell, even when he tries to be funny now, he's not funny.
No. I mean, I think I loved the first Anchorman.
Oh,
he was playing Scott Pelley.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And Ricky Bobby, the Talladega Nights movie. Oh my God.
But
it's the funniest film since Three Amigos.
That's a movie I've got to drag out and watch again. Three Amigos. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah. Listen, there is a bio film on Martin Short called Marty. Life is
short.
Short. You got to watch it. It's fantastic. It's just fantastic.
I love him. I go all the way back to the days of SCTV with him and John Candy and Joe Flaherty, Catherine O'Hara. That was such a great and funny cast. Eugene Levy as Earl Camembert, the news guy. When I'm in a pickle mode, I have that channel on my YouTube subscription, and I will go there and just spend a few minutes watching them because you can't help but laugh. It's such really good stuff. But Three Amigos, I never gave that movie a chance, and I've been looking for something. So
I think every line in that movie is funny on some level. It's one of the most subtle and greatest consistently funny scripts ever written for a movie. It's genius.
I have to give it another chance. And I will take this up with the movie Maven a little bit later. And of course,
Can I share a funny story with you?
Please.
So Terry and I went to Broadway several times, and one night we were at a play that Martin Short and Ferris Bueller, what's his name, Matthew Broderick, were starring in, and Stockard Channing and a group of other stars, called It's Just a Play. And we happened to get seats on the front row. We just lucked into them. And after it was over, the actors came out, and they were doing a fundraiser for an AIDS charity. And I can't remember the name of it now. And so they said, we're going to take bids on the high bidder gets to come backstage for a half-hour reception with us. And so Terry and I, had a little stupid money at the time. And so we ended up being the high bidders. And it really didn't go that high, or I would have quit. We were about to get to that threshold where I was going to say enough. No. But so we get to go back and meet him, and I'd always wanted to meet Martin Sharp because Three Amigos really is like my favorite movie with Die Hard of all time and The Godfather.
Wow.
And so so we're doing the introductions, and I shake Martin Sharp's hand. He's such a nice guy. They're all very nice. And I said, you don't know how long I've wanted to meet you. I said, Three Amigos is like my favorite movie. And his face just falls. Because he never liked that movie. And you'll see it if you watch his bio. He never liked that movie because it flopped at the box office when it opened the first weekend. And now it's become this cult classic kind of thing. And so that was like the worst thing I could have possibly said to him. So I pissed him off, and he talked to my wife the rest of the time.
Well, how are you supposed to know that he had a bad attitude about one of his own movies? But that's a great story. That's better than my lame-ass stories, or at least any that I had lined up to tell today. You had a note about European countries waking up and finally embracing the reality that all this open immigration is destroying their cultures. But is this too late?
Yeah. It's a good question. I don't know. I think it is too late for the UK, unfortunately, which makes me very sad. I think
Elon's
it's too
been
late for Germany. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Elon's been doing everything possible to draw attention to the Henry Nowak thing. But for those who are not familiar, this kid was attacked, right, on the street and stabbed. Was it somebody, an Islamic terrorist?
Yeah. And the police show up and force him to stay on the ground and let him bleed out while they're protecting the guy who stabbed him because he was Muslim.
Because of a false allegation.
Yeah,
So
right.
basically the police believed the wrong person.
Yes.
And they've never really corrected that, have
No.
they? Not the police. But
Yeah.
Elon's been trying. He's been using X like crazy to make the point. Why is this not being treated properly? And right now, the UK is being run by a total, speaking of douchebaggery, that guy, Sturmer, is worthless.
Pure Marxist. Yeah. But anyway, some of the other countries in Europe are beginning to consider and even enact anti-immigration laws because people in these countries are realizing we're going to lose our native cultures.
Yeah.
And I just think because of how much longer the Labour government in England has to go, it's too late. The Great Britain's going to be a Muslim country, Muslim fascist country from now on. And that's
When are they going to wake up?
and sad.
Is it going to take the mullahs moving into Buckingham Palace to get them to
I don't
understand
know.
what they've done?
By then it's too late. They disarmed the public 30 years ago or so. And so other than hunting rifles, very limited kind of rifles they can own. And so there's no way for the people to really fight it in reality.
Well, this came up over the D-Day anniversary on Saturday. All that blood and treasure, the sacrifice that we made restoring freedom to Europe, only to see them, and I'm going to be graphic here, piss it away.
Yeah.
Over what? To be woke, to say we're not bad people because we're welcoming everybody.
Yeah. And
who's that?
change too,
We haven't talked about Tallarico in Texas. How's that campaign going?
Not well.
Yeah.
No, he's already behind in the polls now. And
I think the whole southern border should be a big welcome mat. And by the way, I'm not gay. I have a girlfriend.
Yeah, over the weekend he went into a barbecue restaurant and
he did.
Had pictures taken of himself eating meat, but we got all these video clips. He can't get away from it all. He just can't. There's no way. And
it's just an odd duck. Sad. So this brings us to the most important topic of the entire afternoon: football.
Football.
If the Bears are going to leave Chicago, don't be surprised to see the White Sox do the same thing.
Yeah,
because
they need it. Yeah.
I remember when they built this new ballpark they're in now. It's in a rotten neighborhood. Nobody in their right mind wants to go there, really.
Comiskey Park.
unless they're drawing massive crowds. And they've been lobbying the communist mayor of Chicago to build a stadium closer to downtown. I don't see that happening. If he can't do it for the Bears, he's certainly not going to do it for the White Sox. And I wouldn't be surprised to see, I'm just making based on my own intelligence, which is limited. Don't be surprised if you start seeing that story float, that if the Bears are going, maybe the White Sox will follow them out of town. That would be, and Hammond is very close to the South Side. So
San Antonio's been wanting to get a baseball team for a long, long time. They can talk to the communist government in San Antonio, I guess.
Yeah, that's San Antonio's certainly a large enough market to support a team. Yeah, and they did play. Didn't the Rangers play some games there, some real games there a couple of years ago?
Yeah, several years ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but yeah, they did. But they're, it's not a great city. They don't have a real major league ballpark, obviously, because there's been no reason to build one. And they tried to stage those games in the Alamo Dome, and it just doesn't really work.
Your Dodgers likely to have a pitcher named Tarek Skubal. I read in my baseball.
Oh my God. Yeah. So signing Kyle Tucker free agency worked out so well for him. It seems they're going to.
What? I knew that was going to be a disaster.
He's got like 5 home runs and 24 RBI and hitting 240, and
which is what they should have expected. For $60 million a year, right?
It's insane. And
I think he's going to opt out.
Pay for Skubal. Skubal's like the best pitcher in baseball.
He had surgery to remove a loose body from his elbow 1 month ago.
Yeah,
he's already pitched one comeback game. A rehab start. He's ready to come back to the majors a month after surgery because he's got hundreds of millions of dollars riding on his season. So, but I keep reading from the experts I trust that the Dodgers have the depth, and if they want him, they'll get him. They'll pay any price to get him, just to win the third World Series.
Well, and you can't blame them for wanting to do that, right? Obviously.
Of course not. No, if I'm a Dodger fan, that's what I want, a team that's going to pull out all the stops to win.
Yeah.
I read also over the weekend that the president has taken sides with the owners on the institution of a salary cap, which the baseball players have sworn to never accept.
Yeah.
He didn't make any friends with the ball players. No.
I'm on the ball players' side on that. They shouldn't accept it.
As am I. I think they should take a look at but I'm telling you this, any kind of work stoppage is going to be a disaster for baseball.
Yes.
Nobody loved that game more than me. But when they ended the season in '94 in August, it's never been the same for me.
No, I know. I think most everyone's like that. Boomers, us old time fans, really.
You boomers.
Yeah.
But and then the Yankees lose Judge to a stress fracture in a rib.
Yeah, and it's going to be a while, months, right?
It could be. Yeah, it could be August 1st before he's back.
Wow.
Oh, God. It's always something. I know.
It's sad for the game because he's such a great player.
Nobody can stay healthy in baseball for a full season anymore. I don't know why that is. They're wired a little bit too tight. David, thank you so much for your time as always.
Thank you. I'll see you Thursday.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. Oh, and check your email. I sent you a note.
Okay. All right. I will do that. All right. Thank you.
All right. By the way, davidblackman.substack.com to subscribe. Blackman.substack for David's energy expertise. You get those every day. A word for Alabama Home Mortgage. What an incredible group. Now, we don't know what's going to be happening with interest rates in the short term. The Fed's going to do their thing this week. If you listen to the aggregate of what we heard between David and Brandt this afternoon, it looks like things will probably stay the same, at least for the next month. But buying a home for many is a process that involves lots of time. You need not only a great place to find a mortgage, but a place that can consult you through the process so that You have all the information you need to make the right decision. You know what the prices are going to be. Get pre-approved so you can shop with a sense of authority. And this is just an incredible team of people. Nobody's going to put the pressure on you. They want to help you at some point, whether it's sooner or later. But make the first call, establish the relationship, and find out what awesome folks these are. And then when it is time to buy, you'll be ready to go. Alabama Home Mortgage, Madeline and Kim and that entire team, 567-4223 here in the 334. 567-4223. They can also get you done on a VA loan. When it comes to a mortgage, stay away from the 800 numbers, okay? This is a local and as personal a decision as you're going to make. So make it with people that will absolutely be there for you. Alabama Home Mortgage. They're equal housing lender, NMLS number 1586368. Let's see what's happening on the road. It's been a whack afternoon at 5:05.
We have a new accident. I-85 southbound right at South Union Street. Exit ramps are open, but the rightmost lane of 85 South, the vehicles are sitting there, and one down past on the right off the roadway. Traffic slowing. On the Alabama River Bridge, we believe that situation has taken care of itself. We're moving a little bit better there now. We do have an accident on Highway 231 as you're heading in to Wetumpka near Fort Toulouse Road. Please keep it here. We'll update you when any other accidents happen. Get $1,000 customer cash on a Camry at McKinnon Toyota at the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth a drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with Lieutenant Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
With a Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. A big concern for Texas cattle ranchers as Rich Thomason reports 2 more Texas screwworm infections have been discovered in animals living far apart.
It demonstrates the difficulty of stopping the spread of a pest that potentially could devastate the nation's cattle industry. The Department of Agriculture says the new cases were found in a calf and a dog hundreds of miles apart. The screwworm is actually a fly. It produces larvae that eats live flesh instead of dead material. Before it was eradicated in the 1960s, the fly was an annual warm weather scourge of cattle ranchers. Rich Thomason reporting.
And company executives and retail analysts say many shoppers are reassessing what they buy and where nowadays. New trends include drivers flocking to the fuel pumps at warehouse stores like Costco and Sam's Club. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
This is not headline news. The Tony Awards were last night. Want to know the winners? Didn't think so. HBO confirmed Euphoria is over, mainly because there's no part of Sydney Sweeney's body left to show. Masters of the Universe disappointed at the box office. You knew it was trouble when they updated the main character's pronoun to they man. And McDonald's introduced World Cup meals. They were going to make it a contest, but you'd hardly ever score points. This is not headline news.
Casting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
At 5:10.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. 3 more cases of the New World screwworm have been confirmed, including one outside Texas, demonstrating the difficulty of stopping a pest that could potentially devastate the nation's cattle industry. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced Monday the new cases were found in a dog from New Mexico and hundreds of miles away in a goat and calf in Texas. Brendan Sorsby has been granted a temporary injunction against the NCAA. The ruling could clear the way for him to play for Texas Tech this fall, even after the transfer quarterback was declared ineligible for wagering on college sports. Some of those bets were made on his own team while at Indiana. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 80 points, the Nasdaq rose 220. More details at srnnews.com.
maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives. And MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Now, the Soccer World Cup is quite the spectacle, but the rules of soccer are kind of forgettable. Plus, the lack of scoring is pretty incredible, and a lot of games end in a tie. It's a match, not a game. That's the terminology. The offside rule's more complex than biology, and the teams that play will test your geography. It's also a draw, not a tie. It's the World Cup. It's coming up. They call it football, but it ain't football. We're gonna host the World Cup. Hope we don't suck. We ain't good at football. We're good at football.
International Man of Mystery Tom Moore is our sidekick today. You've been around the block, buddy. Are you excited about the World Cup?
Not a single bit. I'm not going to lie. Not my cup of tea.
Mine either. I don't mock those who are into it, but I've never found soccer to be. And I think when you attach it, see, the left would call me, I'm a white nationalist because I'm white and I love my country, I guess. Isn't that what makes us a white nationalist? We're a threat to everybody. But isn't nationalism what the World Cup is all about? You love your country. You want your country to win. People get really crazy over this thing.
Yeah, it's outside of the U.S. Soccer is without a doubt the most popular sport. I mean, F1 and soccer, I think, globally, they're it. I went to a MLS female soccer game in Chicago. Like I was talking about, it was that Northwestern Stadium.
Right.
It was fun to watch, but it's never been my sport, playing or watching.
No. But and I don't know anything about our teams. This is just men, though, this year.
Yeah.
Women's is a separate.
Right.
And I can't wait to see how all of this works, with the, I guess it's going to be a very ethnic thing because the U.S. team, I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen much publicity.
Yeah, I wish I could add more in, but if you want to talk about basketball, football, F1 racing, I'm your guy. Soccer.
How about baseball?
Yeah, after the Cubs, we just it's been a disastrous last 6 weeks for the Cubs. So
it really has. They had 2 10-game winning streaks early in the season.
Oof.
Then they had a 10-game losing streak recently. I don't understand it, but I have many friends who are Cub fans who have been living and dying with what's going on with the team. How about some food? Should we talk about Smoky Notes?
Ooh. Yeah, I still haven't been there yet.
Got to get you over there.
Yeah.
This is barbecue at its best.
They need to bring us dinner here when I put a little buffet over here, and then we can live talk with reviews.
I'll see. Yeah. I did bring back a sampler. I think it was on the Friday show. So I'll see if I can set that up because it's good stuff. And I love their sides.
Their menu looks super diverse. It's not just a couple barbecue things and a side. It looks like pretty robust.
It is. And healthy portions, too. Everybody loved. We had a listener gathering there a couple of weeks ago, and nothing but positive reviews all the way around. I am looking forward to going back. Let me see here. What happened to my menu?
Who owns Smoky Notes?
I don't.
And it's a one-off,
It's
right?
underneath
It's not a chain, right?
Right. This is an individual establishment, and it's where the It'll Do Tavern used to be on Northeastern Boulevard.
That's tough to run a restaurant business in Montgomery. Seems like we have quite the competition, but I think he's different enough where he should do well.
I like the location too. There, that end of town. There's not a whole lot along Northern Boulevard.
Is it by Atlanta Highway?
No, it's a little further north. It's near Lagoon Park.
Oh yeah, you told me that, by the Harley Davidson dealership.
Yeah, it's on the west side of the street, right where the petrol station is. Parking lot is adjacent. And my next time out there, I'm going to do the smash burger. I went with the brisket melt. Loved it. It was not disappointing, but I want to work my way around the menu.
I've got to learn how to make a smash burger at home because I love Shake Shack. Our down the road, Tipping Point has a smash burger now, and it's just a whole nother level of flavor with a smash
Since you
burger.
are smash burger prone, then Smoky Notes sounds like a great place for you to start.
See what we got calling.
It's on the list of the menu that comes with one side, and the sides, that's a tough choice. You may want to pick more than one, and worth the money if you pay extra for it. But I chose the cabbage with the Conecuh sausage and the spice. It was excellent. But people who had the baked beans, the mac and cheese has kind of an Alfredo base in it. It's really, really good. You can even do a side salad, and you'll love the overwhelming choice of sauces you'll have as well. Some awesome desserts, including warm banana pudding and strawberry swirl cheesecake. All of it's homemade. It's Smoky Notes. That's on Northeastern Boulevard in Montgomery. Please check it out. Take somebody with you. Treat them. Anything on that call that we need?
It was a vote of confidence for Smoky Notes.
Glad to hear that. Yeah, it's a good word on something good gets around. We are at 516. Since we had that situation on 65 northbound with a jumper earlier, let's see if there's been any resolution there and check in with the man who can bring us up to speed. Skipper.
Well, if you're out in traffic right now and you're on 85 southbound right at South Union, we had an accident. A couple of vehicles are still in the rightmost lane of I-85 southbound. Ramp is open. We've also got some other crashed vehicles scattered on the right side of the ramp and on the right side of 85 further down. Really moving slow right in that area. And in Wetumpka, Highway 231 at Fort Toulouse Road had the report of an accident there. Several other minor accidents that we don't believe are causing any issues. We'll keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can get up to $5,000 off any new Armada and up to $5,000 on a Nissan Frontier. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth a drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Flanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
You can't control interest rates. You can't control housing inventory. And you definitely can't control what the national news decides to panic about this week. But here's what you can control. You control your timing. You decide when it's the right time to buy, when it makes sense to refinance, and when to tap into your equity to renovate, invest, or consolidate debt and free up monthly cash flow. Real estate decisions aren't one size fits all, and they shouldn't be driven by headlines or social media noise. They should be based on your goals, your finances, and your life. The smartest moves happen when you focus on what you can control and work with someone who helps you see the full picture. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times. And please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Democrats invited an illegal invasion of our borders and ballot boxes. That's their plan to stop Trump. Block the Save America Act requiring citizenship to vote. And Rhino Jared Hudson, he stands with them, working against President Trump. Hudson backs a Senate rule letting Democrats block the Save America Act, paving the way for illegals diluting our elections, drowning out Alabama voices. It's no wonder why Hudson's already caving to open-border Trump-hating Democrats. They're bankrolling his campaign. Hudson took over $32,000 from the same liberals who bankrolled Kamala Harris. Worse, Biden-Harris donors are funding a super PAC that spent $600,000 propping up Jared Hudson. Bought by Democrats, siding with Democrats. Alabama doesn't need a rhino rookie senator betraying President Trump, like Jared Hudson. Alabama Freedom Fund is responsible for the content of this ad, paid for by Alabama Freedom Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AlabamaFreedomFund.com.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar. We're located over here on the beautiful Alabama River. We're down here cooking up that fresh seafood for you, and we've been doing it 30 years. That's right, the 30th year we've been down here shucking oysters for you. Let me tell you, we got a fryer, a steamer, and a grill. Over here on the fryer, you know it's all southern stuff, so fried shrimp, catfish, oysters, got some tilapia, good old southern fried food. Over here on the grill, we got a good ribeye, we got a grilled amberjack, all kind of grilled fish coming in out of the Gulf, snapper, grouper, flounders. We got that steamer going for you too. We got those oysters Rockefeller, got those shrimp from Argentina, taste between a shrimp and a lobster, got those Royal Ridge shrimp, snow crab, man, it's all good. Also, I got to tell you, great show Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock showtime. Another award winner, Miss Eden Brent, on that boogie woogie piano. Check it all out, CapitalOysterBar.com. Get over to our Facebook page, see what's going on. Rent you a pontoon boat. You can come down here and stay in the RV park for a little while. Don't forget, Miss Eden Brent, 4 o'clock showtime. That's a good one.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. With over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. You probably noticed the humidity is much higher than it has been, and the risk of spotty storms will continue into the evening hours, and generally they'll fade out. Low temperature tonight down to about 71. Then very little day-to-day change for the rest of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll say partial sunshine, very humid with spotty random scattered showers and storms, most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours. Feast or famine. Some towns get a lot of rain, others none at all. Highs upper 80s on Tuesday, 90 or above Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Lows at night in the lower 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I'm Jeff Bezos, and I know what you're thinking. Well, not yet, anyway. That's why I'm spending $500 million to discover the brain's core algorithm. I already know what you're saying with an Alexa in your kitchen, your living room, and your bedroom, too. But I need to know what you're thinking. Like, are you thinking about an Amazon purchase? Or are you thinking about a trip to Whole Foods? But what I really need to know is, are you thinking about coming after the billionaires with pitchforks? I mean, That's really high on my list. So forget about a penny for your thoughts. I'm more about a $500 million for your brain. Did you think that was funny?
No. He'll get it, though. He'll get it. So I just got a note from listener Marty Mann, who is a great contributor to the show, along with Mark Humby and so many others, about how they're preparing Jordan-Hare Stadium for an international soccer game. This is from AL.com. The 88,000-seat stadium has had many electric crowds on Saturday nights in the fall, but will host a different kind of spectacular tomorrow. The Argentina and Iceland national teams are set to play the first international soccer match in the history of Jordan-Hare Stadium. I didn't even know about this. It's Argentina's final friendly match before the World Cup kicks off in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
Very cool.
The natural width of the playing surface made it easier for Auburn to adjust to the FIFA standards. The field for Tuesday's game will be 72 yards wide. That's one reason where soccer kind of, there's so much space.
Yeah.
If the game were to be more exciting, I would probably narrow the field a little bit. There's too much room to play. Keep it, or, what do I know? I don't know if I'd watch it anyway. Trump's still going to be at Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
What could go wrong?
God, I hope not.
Yeah.
Because you'll never hear the end of it. And let me tell you something else. This is just the sports mindset speculating. Suppose the Knicks lose this game after winning the first two on the road. They're going to blame him.
Oh, 100%. You know the Knicks have not lost a game since mid-April? Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a complete sweep. I could see them sweeping the Spurs, too. They are just that dialed in.
That's the word, right? Because it's not like a superstar LA team with Magic and LeBron and all that circus.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns came from my Wolves. I'm a big Timberwolves fan. Brunson, Hart, it's just, and New York's just thirsty for it. Their fan base is just so strong. I'd love to go to a game. I don't know if you've heard, it's the cheapest ticket, nosebleed, $10,000
for this game.
For any of them, yeah. For the final series, some of the floor seats, $180,000, $200,000. Yeah, and like you said, you're dealing with the MSG traffic.
Well, the floor seats. That's for the people who have too much money. It's like David was talking about that Broadway show with Martin Short, and he said, I had some stupid money with me. I know what that's like. I've spent stupid money.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have any non-stupid money now. But you kind of get sucked into the moment and all that. But for the celebrities, the really rich that have it,
it's nothing.
A chance to be seen.
Yeah.
And
maybe we should buy some tonight. We can put it on trademark coins, and it'll be a business write-off.
You'll be writing that off for many years to come.
Yeah. Why did you operate in the red for 3 years? Well, Greg and I wanted to see the ball game.
Yeah, we wanted to go see the Knicks and the president.
Did you talk about coins? Yeah, we sure did.
How many we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
What is happening in the coin business right now? What are some of the things you're seeing?
Yeah.
At trademarkcoinsandcurrency.com, by the way.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. A lot of 2026 coins came out, and I should have brought some. I'll bring you some next Monday. So they did a new $50, a new dime, a new quarter, and a new nickel, all for the 250th anniversary.
Cool.
So those have been popular. Collector coins, big. I think gold and silver slowed down a little bit because of the war, but I still have a ton of people coming in the shop selling scrap gold jewelry, sterling silverware, silver dollars.
Did they do proof sets on the 2026?
They come out in 2 weeks. You want to guess how much it cost for a 2026 proof set?
That has what, a quarter, a dime, a nickel, and a penny in it? What?
$245.
For a proof set.
The U.S. Mint has become a moneymaker for the U.S. government, and the prices they are charging are astronomical.
$250. I thought maybe if it's 40 or 50,
uncirculated sets are $120 each. Yeah.
What's the difference between proof and uncirculated? So people
So a proof
understand.
coin has like a mirror field. Like if you looked in it, you could see yourself. It's like it's the churched up version of a version you would see in circulation. So the proof coins never get circulated. You're never going to find one at the bank unless Trademark Coins and Currency has too many and we just take them to the bank, like, proof pennies and stuff like that. But yeah, we sell uncirculated sets of the 2026 coins, but we don't have any. The proof sets haven't come out yet. So,
wow. Let's see who's on the phone. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. It's James.
James.
How are you all?
All right.
Doing well?
Oh, yeah.
I heard the conversation about the ticket prices for the game tonight, and I read somewhere that I read an article, I guess it was on ESPN, maybe that when Trump announced he was going to be attending the game, the ticket prices dropped to as low as a measly $4,700, which to me, I don't know about you guys, but if you let's say you take a family member, your daughter, your son, spouse, or a date, $10,000 at the very top bleachers or whatever, it's kind of pricey, don't you think?
Yeah, look, I when I didn't have money, I begged. When the Marlins made the World Series in 1997, I never thought I'd get to see a World Series game with a team I cared about. And I got to go to game 1 and 7, which was totally amazing. $145. I thought I was being a big spender.
Yeah, and
For
James,
World
James, in those $4,700 seats, you're better just staying at home. Like I've been to a couple NBA games, and when you're that up high, you can't even tell what's going on. When I was stationed in Texas, we'd go to Spurs games all the times, and they were weekday games, and we get lower, seats and it was great. The AT&T Center, they took care of us. But man, these nosebleed sections, you don't know what's going on. And you're not just seeing it. You're not just seeing it in sporting events. Like one of my favorite bands came through town, at the Impact, and it was $400 for 3 tickets to take my family there. And they're not a huge name. It was great, but the average American cannot afford tickets to these events anymore. I wanted to go see Morgan Wallen and Ella Langley, and I called Jennifer, say, hey, Bam got any extra tickets? She's like, no, I wish. And it was like $1,000 a ticket to go to the University of Alabama. So
yeah. So my dad in 1981, I'm a big Raider, and Alabama and Raiders, kind of an odd combination. But anyway, my dad took the Super Bowl in 1981 in New Orleans, and the ticket prices were like $50 or something. I had hoped make kind of a tradition, maybe if the Raiders ever did, which is probably doubtful in my lifetime, went back to Super Bowl, I'd take my son. And
was that the game they played against the Eagles?
Yeah, they played the Eagles.
That's one of the few Super Bowls I've watched from beginning to end. I just happen to remember where I was drinking that night.
And Jim Plunkett, but the fact of if I take my son, we'll just have to go tailgate because I'm not going to spend $10,000 for a ticket.
No.
Even
if I had ridiculous money, I don't know that I would do that.
Yeah, I just wanted to share the ticket prices that went down when Trump announced that. So
yeah, it's a vicious cycle. They pay these players more, and it's got to be funded by the fans. And at some point, I don't know when it ends.
Well, we're reaching that point, certainly in the concert business. Now, at Impact, Ann Wilson from Hearts coming in September, $40 to $60. That's a great deal for somebody with her pedigree.
Yep.
But
yeah, well, you guys have a great night. I just wanted to call and share that with you.
Glad you did. Thank you. All right. Who do we have on line 2? Good afternoon.
Your favorite caller, it's Soldier Boy.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
Hey, did you hear about Spencer Pratt? What's going on in California as is this moment?
Oh, this moment? No, I know they're stealing the election in front of the entire
country.
Well,
they are doing it as we speak. He was 43,000 votes ahead of the third place communist girl in third place. Now she's taking the lead. Somehow they found 43,000 votes for her since Tuesday's vote.
Yeah.
Now, guess what's the coincidence of that 43,000, Greg? It happens to be almost the exact amount of homeless people in Los Angeles. What a coincidence.
Yeah, they're probably not even citizens, but they're voting because that's what leftists do.
Well, if you don't have to be a registered voter, I mean, you could have a library card, a gym card. It'd be pretty easy to fabricate 43,000, constituents and change it. Spencer Pratt is a threat to the truth.
They mailed out they mailed out ballots to everybody who was a registered voter. Okay, that person may not live there anymore. That person may have died. All you need to have a signature and put it in. Okay, so there's no way that's not a rigged election. And President Trump and the Department of Justice need to go down there and wear them out.
I don't know what they've been doing.
I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, sir, we all did. We all did. Even when we knew Spencer.
You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, even if Spencer Pratt had come in first place before they started counting.
Right.
At some point, they would have stolen the election from him, and they don't care.
I remember my favorite one was when Trump was running, and they was it Atlanta? They had videotape of them bringing suitcases out.
Yes.
And they closed shut the place down because they said it was a plumbing problem or something.
Right.
And mysteriously, all the votes came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and it took over 4 years for them to admit that they had 300 and some thousand votes.
But Greg, you're right. If Spencer would have came in first, they would have found enough votes.
They would have
there to get those two Democrats in there.
Yeah, because when you're a Democrat, cheating is okay. Especially if it's somebody
homeless
that's
people
like...
can vote. I guess homeless people can vote. Is that considered? I guess you're still a citizen. Technically, you can vote.
I think they can vote twice. If they can get two ballots, they can vote twice.
Well, 43,000 votes missing. They made up that much difference. I mean, it's just like, how far are we away? 43,000 votes? We'll find 43,000 votes. We went out there and got homeless people to sign a bunch of absentee votes. And you don't even have to have the date stamped from the post office of it. All you got to do is write the date on it. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, believable, really, when it comes to California. Nothing surprises us there. Thanks for the call, Soldier Boy. Appreciate it. Who's on line one here? Good afternoon.
It's Papa B.
Hey,
and
Papa
I know
B.
I've just been ranting all day long before that about this stupid vote, but they don't even have to be citizens. They don't even have to have a card. All they have to have is a resident, and somebody that can be there to witness their signature, which the signature is just just be an X mark,
Right.
No, it is beyond. It's just beyond fraud. I tell you, what was that movie that Morgan Freeman was in? That jail movie. Crap, I can't
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption.
One of my favorite things. But one of the things he said that you would be surprised at how many ways there were to skim the money, and that's exactly what we're looking at in all of these Democrat strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
They have just all kinds of different ways they can fix things. The first thing they do is they look at the algorithms. Okay, what votes are coming in, and then they figure out how many they need to go ahead fix the vote. One of them was so ridiculous they called it Operation Runback. Like, that's going to fool somebody. So what they did is they figured out how many votes they needed, and they ran back and got them and put them in the machine. It's so stupid that we've allowed this to go on for so long, and they don't even care anymore. I remember, Greg, you do too, sitting there on 2020 election night, and the stupid count went backwards.
Yeah.
For Trump.
Right.
He'd have so many votes, and you sit there and watch it. The Dominion machine system actually sent the vote totals backwards.
That night, I was on the phone with a Cuban friend of mine in Miami who was a big Trump supporter, and that happened while we were talking, and I said, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yep.
This smells.
That should be one thing in our country that is pristine, and it's not. And
No,
I think
and
that
why
and it's really disheartening for Americans that to not have faith in the one thing that we hold dear, and it's our elections. And that SAVE Act has got to be signed, and it's just common sense. You should be a registered voter with a state issued or a federal issued ID to vote. And then, yeah, mail-in ballots for certain cases, but that's got to be kind of narrowed in. You know, like if I'm deployed overseas and I want to vote, obviously there's special processes for that, but it's just disheartening because you should never doubt the results of an election in the United States of America.
Exactly.
No, but we do, and we have good reason to.
Yeah.
I put it at the feet of, the rhinos, because they could have done something.
Yeah, they could have, but they didn't, did they?
And then also the Supreme Court. Because I'm telling you, the courts, they had every reason in the world to stop everything and recount, or at least look into these obvious fraudulent things, but didn't do it, wouldn't do it. Well, don't have any standing, What do you mean you don't have any standing? We're being violated here in public, and you're not going to do anything anyway.
I know. It's very disappointing. We must change our expectations of politicians. They really don't care what we want.
All right. Anyway.
Well, thanks for calling, Papa Beat.
Thanks. Non-citizens found on New Jersey voter rolls. There's a shock. Then the voting history surface. Mostly Democrat, This is what we're dealing with. I don't know what to do. Because the last time we went to Washington to protest election fraud, half of the people never came back for 5 years because of phonied up charges. Because of the dereliction of duty by Nancy Pelosi and the Capitol cops.
It worries me for our younger generations that they're going to see this and they're like, well, why should I even vote if it's going to be rigged?
Well, in the meantime, they're busy educating them to be passionate about communism.
Right.
So 6 of 1 happens. Traffic, then news.
We have an accident, I-85 southbound at the ramp to South Union. The 2 lanes of the ramp are open. Left 2 lanes on 85 southbound. You can get by this accident that is in the rightmost lane of 85 south. Either pass on the right or pass on the left, and that's got a big backup. We also have an accident on Highway 80 and Highway 31. Some injuries involved in that one. Please be safe out there. We will keep you updated. High school students, Trenton State Community College dual enrollment program lets you earn college credit while you're still in high school. Take the first step towards your college journey. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up when Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police are investigating a Saturday night shooting that left a woman critically injured. MPD responded to a single vehicle crash just before midnight on Austin Street, where the driver was found with injuries from a gunshot wound. Police believe the woman was shot in the area of Gibson Street. No further details have been made available. 4 Alabama State men's basketball players have been ruled permanently ineligible by the NCAA. The former players accepted payment from gamblers to fix the outcome of a game in 2024. According to the NCAA, 2 known gamblers offered the players a total of $2,000 to throw the Southern Miss game. The players were paid off after ASU lost by 17 points. An Auburn University student on vacation with his family has been found dead in Japan. The body of 20-year-old Weston Higginbotham was found in a mountainous area near Kyoto on Saturday. Details are limited. The cause of death has not yet been released. Higginbotham was last seen on May 29th leaving a train station to go hiking. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I've rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet just got more amazing. To help our customers during these tough economic times, in June, Pizza Perfect has reduced the price of our buffet to just $10. That's pizza, as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink. Everything, only $10. Pizza Perfect Buffet. Available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pickup or delivery. Also in June, get $5 off any large pizza at Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook, where the buffet is only $10 all month long.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. You probably noticed the humidity is much higher than it has been, and the risk of spotty storms will continue into the evening hours, and generally they'll fade out. Low temperature tonight down to about 71. Then very little day-to-day change for the rest of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll say partial sunshine, very humid with spotty random scattered showers and storms, most numerous in the afternoon and evening hours. Feast or famine, some towns get a lot of rain, others none at all. Highs upper 80s on Tuesday, 90 or above Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lows at night in the lower 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
No, I got stuck at work, but...
It's 5 o'clock if you're interested.
It's 5 o'clock. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Get me out of here, please.
Just get me out of here, okay?
Get me out of here.
There's no more work.
Hey, buddy, you and I have no more work, no more business, no more deals. The workday is over. My work is over. 5 o'clock, we're getting nowhere. Work is over.
But don't you be expecting no more work out of me.
Hey, it's, for many work is over. For us in a few minutes, although I don't think of this as work, hanging out with Tom Moore, are you kidding? And David Blackman. It's been a very enlightening afternoon. I just lost a brilliant thought. Oh, I do want to thank one of our listeners, Gary Garvin.
Oh, yeah. I know Gary.
Yeah, he sent a nice note on my June magazine column.
The Boom.
The Boom, riverregionboom.com. And it's all about a guest we had after the Gathering of Eagles event in May here in town.
Was that the POW that?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The longest in the Hanoi Hilton. He's got a book.
About Bill Robinson.
Yeah.
It says, true hero, well written. Thank you for the compliment. You can read that at riverregionboom.com, where you'll find the magazine. I thought it would be a good feature on the eve of 250. For July, for the 250th, I'm thinking about putting together some of the more unusual, quote, random facts about America and the greatest coincidence in history. Which to me, because the mathematical odds on this, think about this. 2 presidents, 2 of the founding fathers, died 50 years to the date on the 4th of July, 1826. What are the odds that John Adams and Thomas Jefferson would die hours apart, not knowing the other was on the way out? 50 years to the day. That's literally mathematically impossible to compute. We got a phone call coming in. Good afternoon.
Jeff Mallinson and the Merry Band of Lawyers here.
I am so glad you got the invitation to call in and let us know what's happening at Georgia Floors Direct, sir. First of all, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just getting my voice back a little bit.
Oh.
I got a little summer cold there, but
Sorry about
we're
that.
starting to see a lot of this water damage coming in that people got this rain, and we can help with that. If you're having, and a lot of times water damage doesn't show up the day it happens. It shows up later. You find out that the carpet's gotten wet and it stayed wet on the subfloor. We're a one-stop shop. We can come in, we can get that subfloor, get all that wet flooring pulled up. We can get a new subfloor put down. We can put your new floor down. All you got to do is give us a call at the store, 334-244-7004. Or if you're just wanting to get some of those summer projects out of the way, get the house refloored, new LVP, new hardwood, new laminate, new ceramic tile, new granite quartz and marble countertops, or maybe some blind shades or shutters, we can do that for you. Just to give us a call, man. My guys are going hard. We've been real busy, but we'd love to take care of y'all.
Jeff, I'm glad you reminded us because you and Georgia Floors Direct have experience. I've heard stories about people you helped during the aftermath of Opal, which is more than 30 years ago. So your experience in helping people with damaged flooring and a lot of flooding in the northern part. By the way, Georgia Floors Direct does take care of people in Autauga and Elmore counties and all around the state. But if you did have some of that damage, this is the guy to touch base with.
We're replacing Pride Month. It's now GFD month. It's Georgia Floors Direct month.
I'm all for that. I'm all for a GFD month.
Well, we just helped a young lady today over in McGee Estate. She had old parquet wood flooring under her carpet. She called. She says, Jeff, she says, my carpet's popping up in the air. She said, and every time I stand on it, it pops. I said, well, what's underneath the floor? And she said, well, concrete. And I said, that doesn't sound like concrete. I said, I think we found Jimmy Hoffa. And anyway, went over there, and there was parquet in this older home built in the 40s, 50s, and they put carpet over that. Well, it got wet, and that parquet buckled up.
Oh.
I told her, I said, no problem. We can come in. We can take up the wet carpet. We can take up all the wet parquet, get that floor straight, and get you some new floors put down. So we're going to take care of that for her later this week, and she's going to get her life back on the road.
That's what you do at Georgia Floors Direct, along with window coverings and marbled and granite kitchen countertops with amazing new finishes, all under one big roof on the boulevard across from Lowe's, a flooring destination since the year the earth stood still, which is 1969. Jeff, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Hey, guys. Love y'all. Have a great day.
You too.
Likewise.
Cheers.
There is one of the world's great people right there.
He's a good man.
He is.
What
Okay.
a horrible woman.
I can't speak to that. I
just
don't.
kidding.
I wouldn't know. Apparently, the jurors. Oh, by the way, we just saw the shrieking Elizabeth Warren, Plattner, the Nazi with the tattoo, and the woman abuser. She says that's her kind of man.
It's funny how they're navigating it. They're like, well, we don't condone violence, but if he had a dispute at home, that's between he and his wife. And it's just like they're walking this crazy fine line. And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And they're just falling for these crap candidates. It's really making the state of Maine look bad. Like this is your guy? Really? This is the bomb, the best of Maine?
Well, maybe the Supreme Court can order Maine and all those northeastern states that have not, with the exception of the rhino, Susan Collins, redistrict, because it seems like they have established outcomes there. Same. No Republicans really anywhere in there.
Yeah. I love that he's like, I didn't know it was a Nazi symbol. I'm like, so you went to a tattoo artist and just said, give me a good old skull and crossbones. Okay, why? What's your affiliation with the skull and crossbones on your chest? And then, tattoo aside, there are so many other red flags on this guy, you know?
Not only that, now they're catching him lying about his experience with the sea.
It's just going to keep going.
Yeah.
The more you dig, the deeper.
On top of that, the guy's just a forking creep.
Yeah.
When you look at him, when he's looking back at you in a picture, it makes my skin crawl. Final traffic at 554.
Well, some good news. I-85 southbound, they've got all those accident vehicles off on the right side of the roadway. That had caused a big slowdown earlier. Traffic moving much better at South Union on 85 southbound. Also, Highway 31 and Highway 80 had an accident there earlier. We're hoping that one has cleared. Still very busy, Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, and Wetumpka. At Thompson Tractor, their new service commitment includes next-day parts and 2-day repairs. That ensures you stay up and running without missing a beat. Thompson Tractor off I-85 just past Chantilly Parkway. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Porch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Porch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at porchcreekindians.org.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, get help. A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
And this is a painting of my grandfather, the only one he ever had made. Sometime, take a close look around your house. This sewing machine was my Aunt Mary's. If you have possessions that are irreplaceable, consider this. Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Are our possessions safe? To know for sure, call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of Current Safe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Using high-tech equipment, Crosby Electric will check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to pinpoint potential problems and make sure your things are safe. Oh, my daughter's second-grade art project. I'd die if something happened to this. Some things can't be replaced by insurance. Don't wait another day. Call 272-2085 for an in-home no-obligation assessment or visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe. Know it's safe. Now you'll be safe with Current Safe.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Well, kids, that's our show for today. And now, in the words of Mr. Cole Porter, every time we say goodbye. Goodbye.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
Hello, I must be going.
I must be going. So long, farewell, our feet are saying goodbye. I leave and heave a sigh and say goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's time to go. Till our next show. Goodbye.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Everybody to leave here immediately.
And so we exit with grace, with special thanks and gratitude to Tom Moore. Awesome sight. David Blackman, thank you. Back tomorrow morning with Rich Thomas. And of course, James Scott.
You do a little tappity tap.
Bye, sexy.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV.